Channel Nebraska. NCN Sports is brought to you by Currency. Visit gocurrency.com for details. Faith Regional Health Services. When you need exemplary care, have faith. Liberty First Credit Union. Find out more at libertyfirstcu.com. Woodhouse Auto. Serving our employees, customers, and communities since 1975. And by Medica. With a Medica health plan, you're not just covered, you're cared for.
Welcome to Kearney, Nebraska, the site of the D6 State Championship, live from Ron and Carol Cope Stadium on News Channel Nebraska. Brandon Axmett, Andy Klassen, Michael Shively, and Preston Gailey with you for the only high school football game in the state tonight. And Andy, we're looking forward to a good one between Sumner, Eddyville, Miller, and Stuart. This matchup brought to you by Nebraska Public Power District. Always there when you need them. Andy, SEM, the defending D6 state champs, undefeated this season. Stuart, they were bounced by SEM in the playoffs last year.
Right.
These two teams met in week 2, and SEM got the better of them by 3. Stuart's only loss of the season.
Yeah.
So storylines abound as we prepare for tonight's clash.
The Mustangs are the nemesis of the Broncos out of Stuart. Yes, they bounced them out of the playoffs last year, and they got them in a nail-biter this year. And Stuart said as they're shaking their hands, we hope we see you again in Kearney at Cope Stadium. Well, when you know it, here we are.
And you look at what Stuart has done. 3-point loss to SEM, but every other game, double-digit point victory. About 30 points was the next closest affair. This is a Broncos team that has defeated everyone else and done it handily. And SEM, of course, you look at what they've done and their body of work over the past 3 years. 1 loss since the start of the 2022 campaign.
Yeah, SEM really takes a businessman-like mentality out on the football field. They run the I formation on offense. They run the ball right at you, just pound and ground night in and night out. The Broncos on the other side, they're kind of fun to watch. They run that spread offense. They got a wildcat element to it, really placates to the style of athletes they have, and they're a lot of fun to watch. This is going to be kind of a 2 different styles going at it for the championship here tonight.
6-man football, an entirely different brand to do the 11-man or 8-man you may be used to. We'll break down more about how this game is different, but before we do, let's talk about some key players, Andy. First off, for Sumner, Eddyville, Miller, Maddox, Jones. When you play 6-man, you go both ways, so he's a running back and a linebacker. Over 1,200 yards rushing, nearly 30 touchdowns, and on the defensive side, he's leading the way with 100 tackles, including 10 for a loss.
Yeah, 30 touchdowns rushing, 100 tackles on that middle linebacker spot. He also has 10 tackles for loss, so he likes to get in the backfield. They blitz him a lot from that middle linebacker position. Straight up playmaker. Big kid, too. 190, 6 foot.
Now we look at Stuart, Cade Rum, quarterback and a defensive end. You look at what he's done offensively, Andy, 1,300-plus yards. Passing, he also has over 500 rushing and nearly accounted for 50 touchdowns.
He's just awesome. You said it right there, about 25 touchdowns on the ground, 11 passing. But I like what he does on the defensive side. You're talking two-way players. He's a defensive end. 15 sacks on the season. Another one of these highlight game breaker, whatever you want to call him. He is a highlight reel, and this fun, wide-open offense really placates to his athletic ability from that quarterback position.
Glad you're with us for the 6-man state championship live from Kearney. Our pregame continues. Michael Shively will be talking to both head coaches when we return here on NCN.
When we met with Angela, it was pretty simple. She showed us a number of plans that would be available and asked to look at our list of prescriptions to try to find the best possible supplement.
She's been very thorough and very thoughtful about keeping in touch with us.
I would certainly recommend Angela for any of your supplemental insurance needs. She's not there to sell you a product. She's there to make certain that the product that she finds for you is best suited for what you need.
Stuart head coach Colin Sherman joins me now. Coach, congratulations. You've made it to the 6-man final. It's never easy if you're going to get all the way to the championship game. How did your team get it done to find yourself in Kearney?
Well, first, thank you. Appreciate it. And you're right. It's not easy to get here, but you got to give all the credit to the boys, from the weight room to the summer, from practice and the heat, and they've just worked their tails off, and they absolutely deserve every bit of this. So all the credit goes to those boys.
Well, you have a dynamic player at quarterback, Cade Ram. How does he make a difference in the game?
Cade is a heck of an athlete. When he's hurting you with his arm, he could hurt you with his legs too. We just kind of started working that in the past couple weeks. Is him a little RPO action, and when he steps up in the pocket and you think he's going to run, he throws it. So he's a heck of a football player, great kid, smart kid, and he's the type of kid that you want as your quarterback.
Only one blemish on your schedule this year. Week 2, 36-33, epic game against Sumner Eddyville Miller. Now you get to go against them again. What do you remember and what can you take away from that first meeting?
We had some mental errors in the fourth quarter when we had the lead on them too. And you can't do that against the number 1 team in the state. They'll make you pay for it. And me and Coach were talking afterwards. We just said hopefully the next time we see is down in Kearney, and here we are. So.
A little poetic. You get to go against the Mustangs. They knocked you out of last year's playoffs. They beat you once already this year. What's it going to take to get them this time?
We really got to limit the mental errors. There's going to be critical moments, and we just can't cave. We got to hang tough in those moments. Defensively, we got to play assignment football. Offensively, we have to take care of it, and I think we'll be in it at the end.
Well, thanks for the time, Coach. Good luck.
Thanks, appreciate it.
It's Colin Sherman of Stuart. Stay with us. There's more pregame ahead of kickoff on News Channel Nebraska.
Hi, I'm Brett Lighthold, proud owner of Watier's Auto Body. Whether it's minor or major repair, our team works with precision and care to get you back on the road safely. We've built a reputation on quality work and providing great customer service for over 40 years. So if you are in need of any work done, my team and I are here to help.
Watier's Auto Body, where quality and customer care come first.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
I'm with Will Miller. He's the defensive coordinator for Sumner Eddyville Miller. That means you got to figure out how to slow down Stuart. You had some experience. Last year you beat him in the playoffs. You beat him by 3 earlier this season. What stands out about the offense you're going against?
They've got an extremely gifted set of athletes over there. They've had them last year. They have them this year. They keep getting better. Hopefully we've seen them. We kind of know their playbook, we think. I'm sure they've got something more. But it all comes down to going out there and doing your job and trusting your teammate next to you and hoping that we can slow it down enough that we can keep up.
Well, talking about your team's defense, you've been really solid all season, really going back a few years. What makes your team buy into playing that side of the football?
I grew up basically a defensive-minded guy. That's all I've ever done. And in my opinion, it's just fun. You get a chance every play to go out and make an impact. The play's not going away from you. It's not called to the other side. Every down on defense in 6-man football, you can get a tackle for loss, or the play might come all the way back across the field and you get the tackle. Every play, it's wide open for you and you get a chance. And these guys have bought into it and love playing defense, and they make it work.
Well, familiar spot for your group now here in Kearney, the 2nd straight season. Champs last year. Does that affect you guys? Does it give you a boost going into this season?
As far as the season is when it's a new group of seniors, and like Cohen said last night, let's do it for each other. It's a new group of guys with a new goal. Same goal as last year, but new season, new goal, and we're just a little more comfortable with it this year. Nothing new. We've been through it.
Well, they're plenty fired up, even though they got that championship last year. Coach, thanks for the time. Best of luck.
Yep, thank you much.
More pregame coming up on News Channel Nebraska.
This broadcast is brought to you by Beatty Family Farms, cheering for the SEM Mustangs to bring home the bacon, and by News Channel Nebraska. Follow us on X at NCN Sports.
This is the 6-man state football championship, and it is football, but it's a little bit different look to it. And that includes right behind us. That is the makeshift field goal post, the actual one here at Cope Stadium, Foster Field, just over there, because it's not a 100-yard field. It's an 80-yard field, 40 yards in width. And we have an expert to talk about it, former 6-man football coach Preston Gailey. It's not just the field dimensions that are different in 6-man football.
No, it's you know, the points are different. When you get that touchdown, it's still worth 6. But once you get past that, then it's the field goal or the extra point is worth 2 points if you kick it.
Yep.
But it's worth 1 point if you go for 2, because since there's less men, it's easier to get the point in.
So that's the point scoring difference when you're actually in the field of play. First down yardage is different and some other things as well.
Yes, the first down, it goes 1st and 15 instead of your 1st and 10 on normal. With that open field, they make you get 5 more yards per possession.
And if you're the one that receives the snap, so the quarterback, you can't run across the line of scrimmage unless you were to get the ball back on a pitch.
Correct. The whole rule is the center snaps to somebody, and what you'll see is they'll actually pitch it to the quarterback so the quarterback can run or pass. But if the guy that receives the snap crosses the line of scrimmage, the play's dead immediately.
And for those unfamiliar, you might see something that looks like a punting formation on like 2nd down, but that's what's going on. They're snapping it to an up man and tossing it to the quarterback so they have the option to pass or run. But it's not just a spread attack. It's not just that shotgun style. You see some power teams too, and it's a really fun brand of football, 6-man, because if you make a guy miss or 2, you're off to the races.
It is. It's a high-scoring affair if you aren't fundamentally sound. That's the biggest thing about 6-man. Everybody can say, oh, that's just backyard football. No, this is the most fundamentally sound football, because if you miss one tackle or you don't block, the play's over, because there isn't that extra person to help eliminate that space.
We'll be refreshing your mind on those 6-man rules throughout the broadcast, because it's going to be fun. You're going to want to stick around for this one. It's Sumner, Eddyville, Miller, and Stuart with a state championship on the line on News Channel Nebraska.
For over 40 years, Claybaugh Pharmacy has been your trusted, family-owned, full-service pharmacy. We provide traditional medical options, medical equipment, immunizations, and over-the-counter products. We take pride in going above and beyond to improve the health of our community. And to ensure you have a seamless experience, manage your profile and refills with a touch of the finger from home. Claybaugh Pharmacy in downtown Beatrice, your hometown family-owned pharmacy.
Landmark Implement is your local authorized John Deere dealer. Landmark's trained and certified sales staff will help you find the right equipment for your needs, all backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network. Whether it's a tractor, planter, combine, lawn and garden tractor, or gator, every piece of equipment in our inventory is ready to work hard for your operation. Landmark's team works together to make sure everything that is sold meets their quality standards. Stop by your local Landmark Implement or learn more at landmarkimp.com to experience the Landmark difference.
Welcome back. We are 7 minutes away from kickoff here at Ron Carroll Cope Stadium on the campus of the University of Nebraska Kearney, and about to see the Stuart Broncos come out here first. Andy, our roster, our starting lineups that are brought to you by Medica. With a Medica health plan, you're not just covered, you're cared for. So here we go, the Stuart Broncos sitting at 10-1. We have your starters conveniently highlighted as we go, and Dvorak and Boltler, the 2 freshmen. Before we get into those starters, you look at those. Gavin Mustin, he's an end and defensive back, 90 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns to his name. He really stands out on defense, Andy. 5 interceptions, leading the Broncos. Mustin in that category. Then you have Drew Schmaderer, has 144 yards receiving, along with 575 yards rushing. 12 total touchdowns for the Broncos as a running back and a defensive back. Cameron Kaup, the center for the Broncos, and we talked about Cade Rum, the quarterback, and everything that he does, not only offensively, but as a defensive end, 15 sacks. You have Owen Letau, 848 yards rushing and 7 touchdowns. Hunter Tubbs and Benjamin Paxton rounding out the starters for Stuart.
Yeah, Ben Paxton's going to be a big part of this. A 4-year starter. He is that big play wide receiver, nearly 20 touchdowns on the season. When they need to get something vertical down the field, they're looking for Paxton.
So there are your Stuart Broncos sitting at 10-1 on this season. This is their second trip to the state championship as they're looking for their first ever state title. And we will show you quickly the rest of that Stuart roster to give everyone the credit where that credit is due. Addison, Paxton, Alder, Canott, two of them, along with Wallinger, Fuelberth, Doki, and Wallinger, rounding out the rosters for Stuart as we now transition to SEM. The Mustangs and defending champs. And fittingly leading the team out, Andy, is Maddox Jones. We talked all about him, and we'll be calling his name a lot tonight.
Yeah, big kid, tough runner. You know, their offense, it's usually in that I formation. They're just giving it right to Jones and letting him work either right or left, right off that tackle.
O'Neill, Dakey, Beatty, and Anderson, the starters that you'll see on this first roster graphic. O'Neill, 115 yards receiving. Dakey, 643 yards passing as the quarterback for the Mustangs. And Anderson, sort of a jack of all trades. He's passed it a little bit. He has some receiving and rushing yards. What he does defensively, 11 tackles for loss. Second on the team in that category.
Yeah, he can play defensive end, fullback, linebacker. They really like to move Mr. Anderson all over the field.
And rounding out the roster on this one is Carson Bosack before now. Looking at the rest of SEM's roster, we had to see the two other starters, Cohen Rohde, the tight end, defensive end, 244 yards receiving for him, 47 tackles, including 13 for a loss. And Jordan Scoville, the leading rusher for SEM, 823 yards. He's averaging 9 yards a carry and 17 touchdowns.
Yeah, coaching staff says Scoville probably has the best speed on the team, so if they're looking to get something out wide, something on the edge, give a playmaker a one-on-one opportunity, they first look up Jordan Scoville. Should be number 23, not 33, right?
I see where you're going there. It's just a sophomore, Scoville for SEM, as we've rounded out the starters. Again, everything brought to you by Medica for the rosters and starting lineups here for the D6 State Championship. We're 2.5 minutes away. We'll pause for the national anthem. Don't go anywhere. D6 Championship football coming your way on News Channel Nebraska.
Black Friday savings all month long. From appliances to mattresses, the savings can be found at Schaefer's. Turn your kitchen black, stainless this November with Samsung. Now, with up to $1,600 in rebates from 4 Ice French door refrigerators to anti-scratch black matte induction ranges. Now with a free cookware rebate all month long. Every day is Black Friday in November.
Mid-Nebraska Lutheran Home in Newman Grove, located in a serene residential neighborhood, offering a faith-based community where residents feel at home, with private rooms and a wide range of activities. Residents enjoy a vibrant and supportive environment. Their experienced and caring staff is dedicated to providing personalized care, ensuring each individual feels valued and connected. Mid-Nebraska Lutheran Home, where faith, care, and community come together. Schedule your tour today and experience the warmth.
For 70 years, NNTC has been delivering all fiber, phone, TV, and internet services you can count on. NNTC is also here supporting Stuart.
Thank you.
But it's not just students getting checks. This year alone, NNTC is paying back $321,000 in capital credits to Stuart customers. NNTC, your local all-fiber internet provider, paying back since 1990.
This broadcast is brought to you by Bloomin' Daisy's Floral and Gifts. Congratulations, Stuart football team and coaches, on a great season from Bloomin' Daisy's Floral and Gifts in Stuart. Kaupp's Financial Advisors, located in Stuart. And by Crowder's Home and Auto Center, wishes the Stuart Broncos the best of luck.
Moments away from kickoff between SCM and Stuart in the D6 State Championship. Andy, this is your account. Who is the official team that's going to be doing everything for us here tonight?
Oh, you're talking about the officials.
The official
We're
officials.
Getting into
Yes.
it. There they are. Alan Toth, Roy Fitzgibbon, Edward Mann, Charles Marsh, and Sawyer Hag is going to be our back judge here tonight.
Glad that you're with us. Stuart will be kicking things off first to the defending champs, Sumner Eddyville Miller. 6-man state final, a rematch from week 2, where SEM came out on top 36-33 over Stuart, marking Stuart's only loss of the season. Brandon Axemet, Andy Klassen, Preston Gailey, and Michael Shively with you. We are underway here from Kearney. So SEM a return right off the bat to the 20. That was Scoville to get things started.
Yeah, I like his decision there to go up and field that ball. Don't let it, get into the end zone or maybe not go out of bounds. Go make the play, get that ball upfield. It's kind of fun to see the return anyway. I like the aggressive nature on special teams here from SEM right off the bat.
SEM, their base formation is the I. And strength, according to Coach Haraski, is their running game. Sort of the opposite of what you're used to in 6-man, as there you see it right on display to start things off. A very nice gain by who else? Maddox Jones.
Yeah, they really just kind of put it all out in front of you and say, stop us. And they're not the biggest guys, but they're physical. They understand leverage. They're really good at blocking, firing off the line of scrimmage, and it makes a very, very difficult offense to stop.
7-yard pickup. Preston, we've been seeing seemingly over the past couple of years sort of a back-to-the-future approach for 6-man football to more of this power style, and we're seeing those teams that run that make it to this game. What do you attribute that to?
A lot of it comes down to the whole aspect of going back to old school smash mouth football. It's very hard and physical to stop a team that just comes downtown all day long and drive the way.
And we've seen that on display here in the first 2 snaps by SEM. 2 runs right up the middle, and that's going to set up a 3rd and 2. Back to Maddox Jones, and he would have been stopped behind the line on initial contact, but you see why he is so good and why he's rushed for over 1,200 yards this season.
Yeah, keeps those legs churning. You also got to appreciate how the quarterback turns into that lead blocker. It takes the defensive end out of the play. That allows Maddox Jones to get back to that line of scrimmage and then make the play, break the tackle, as you mentioned there, Brandon.
The big thing with that is that quarterback can't run and do nothing. So having him come forward and become that lead blocker is just putting that extra man in the box.
Pitch to Jones and not much there. Excellent play by Cade Rum, the quarterback / defensive end, getting to him first.
He's a highlight reel. It doesn't matter what side of the ball he is on. He's always around the ball.
This look brought to you by Beatrice Community Hospital and Madison County Bank.
Benjamin Paxson getting in on that. Latau actually got that leverage, forced that play back inside.
So now you see the Mustangs get out of that I formation. There's the pitch back, so you can run it if you'd like. And that's exactly what SEM is going to do. A big pickup on the ground for Dakey.
That's the big thing when they get you spread out like that and you have an athletic quarterback. When they make that pitch, he's got a lot of room to run if the front 2 guys don't stay home.
Yeah, you also have to respect the pass because after the pitch, everything's in play. Yeah, Stuart runs that 22 defense, 2 down linemen, 2 linebackers. When they get spread out, there's a lot of green in the center of the field. And you got an athlete like Maddox Jones and Chance Dakey, they don't mind taking advantage.
Goes down as an 18-yard gain for Dakey. Now the pitch to Jones. And look out, running through arm tackles, finally brought down by Rum. That'll be close to a first down.
And that's some of that vision that coaching staff was talking to us about, how his progression from last year to this year, keeping his eyes down the field. Wow, that cutback, good for another 8-9 yards, Coach.
And the power in the legs.
Yeah.
That kept him up a lot longer. It's amazing. If you can take the guy's legs down, they're done. But if you tackle high, a lot of these powerful backs will not go down.
So 2nd and 1. There's another pitch to Jones, who looks to get to the edge and is tackled at the 5.
And you see that power that Maddox Jones runs with. It really likes to get behind his pads. The way he finished off that run, yes, he was breaking outside, but look how he squares up the defender here at the end of this play. Plows forward.
That's beautiful smash mouth football. I love that style of football because it's just nose to the grindstone. Okay, I'm not going to go around you, but I will go through you.
Yeah, he put it on Schmaderer there, and Drew Schmaderer made a nice tackle, broke down, let the ball carrier down to the ground.
1st and goal from the 5, and Jones rumbles into the end zone. Just what you'd want to draw up if you're SEM, an opening drive that caps off with a touchdown, 6-zip to the defending champs.
Yeah, you had one big play, but the heavy lifting was predominantly done by Maddox Jones, the young man, the running back we highlighted in the pregame.
Perfect methodical drive for SEM. This is what they want to do. They just wanted to slowly grind it down all game long and wear you down.
So again, this will be a kick that's worth 2 points. And it goes through. Bodie Martin splitting the uprights. It's 8-0 SEM here at the D6 State Championship in Kearney. Stay with us. Stuart will have a chance to answer when we return.
Mid-Nebraska Lutheran Home in Newman Grove, located in a serene residential neighborhood, offering a faith-based community where residents feel at home, with private rooms and a wide range of activities. Residents enjoy a vibrant and supportive environment. Their experienced and caring staff is dedicated to providing personalized care, ensuring each individual feels valued and connected. Mid-Nebraska Lutheran Home, where faith, care, and community come together. Schedule your tour today and experience the warmth.
This broadcast is brought to you by Evergreen Assisted Living, wishing you a joyous season from the staff at Evergreen Independent and Assisted Living in O'Neill, Southside Mini Mart, the best pizza around, and by Stuart Fertilizer. All the staff at Stuart Fertilizer wish the very best to the Stuart Broncos football team and coaches.
Seven carries for Maddox Jones on that opening drive. There is the 7th, 5 yards into the end zone. That goes down as touchdown number 30 for the senior on the season.
Oops.
A little bit of a squib kick right up the middle, and you see Kaup rather. Let's just go down and get ready to get the offense out on the field.
Get that offense out here.
Now, the big thing on that, you'll see a lot of differences, and if you watch more six-man, you'll see a lot of squib kicks, or you're going to see into the end zone, because you don't see a lot of teams wanting the guy to get that return yards.
Stuart a little more creative on offense. They don't just always line up in the I formation and try to drive it right at you. They'll change things up a little bit and have one deep tailback this opening snap.
There is the pitch to start things for the Broncos. Couple of yards there on the ground for Latau.
Good vision to come back inside. They had it strung out really, really well, so there was nothing there. And to be able to see that and come back and get just a few yards is what's going to be able to save them in the next couple downs.
And he did a really nice job running with patience there, allowed for that kick out block to get developed, then he cut it upfield. Really nice timing as he worked that one outside.
And a very very short gain there for Latau, maybe one.
And I think that's where you're seeing a difference in defensive philosophies. Sumner, Eddyville, Miller, they like to get as many bodies up around the line of scrimmage as possible. They run a 3-2-1. You know, they got those 3 down linemen, 2 linebackers behind them. I think that's just to try and dominate that line of scrimmage.
They do, and you play to your strengths. SEM's some big, strong boys,
yeah.
So they're going to want them bigger guys up front.
See potentially the first pass of the game by Stuart, chucking it up and off the hands of Paxton, who has 788 yards receiving on the season.
Both Paxton and Tubbs had some space, might have had a step on their defender. Stuart wanted to go for it, you know, early on, but Tubbs was open underneath there as well.
Beautiful ball, laid it out there right where it needed to be. You like to see that. You know, you kind of worry at the beginning of the game, first time, big game, what's going to happen? Kid threw a nice ball.
Uh-oh.
And a punt doesn't go as far as you would have liked if you're a Stuart fan. Not sure if it was partially blocked or.
I think it was partially blocked.
Well, SEM will certainly take that. Ball goes out near midfield.
That's a tough break right there for Stuart in special teams early on. And a catchable ball, you know, not hauled in on 3rd down, then you come back with a blunder on special teams.
Jones gets to the corner before being taken out by Hunter Tubbs. But this young man's having a great start to this contest.
Yeah, Coach Gailey, this isn't what you want to give the Mustangs a short field to work with, you know, coming off a really nice looking offensive drive to start things off.
No, you don't. You want to be able to keep them in check, make them earn every yard. They're the type of team that's going to want to earn it. They're okay doing that, but you got to keep them to 1 to 2 yard gains every time.
Another pitch to Jones. He's looking to cut back, and he has nothing but green in front of him. 27 yards for Maddox Jones. And the seniors found the end zone twice here early.
Just running through would-be tacklers as he cuts all the way back across the field. And Coach Gailey, you said it, you got to tackle him low. You cannot hit him up around the pads. He'll shed that tackle every time.
Yes, it's all the fundamental football. You take away the legs, that's where the power, that's their core. You got to get them wrapped up, and he can't move.
Another 2-point kick attempt here by Martin. Right down the middle. Perfect start for the Mustangs, 16-0. Here with 4:41 left in the first quarter, you're watching the 6-man state championship on News Channel Nebraska.
More than 80 communities across the state count on Nebraska Public Power District to power their every day. And like a dependable neighbor, we work tirelessly to make our communities a better place to live. From preparing them for economic growth, to partnering in local events, to educating tomorrow's workforce, we are charged with creating community connections that are just as trusted and reliable as the electricity we provide. NPPD, powering our state, empowering our communities.
Well, he has to like what he's seen so far. That's SEM head coach Shane Haraski. You might have noticed him on screen. He's on crutches tonight. The reason why? Well, he's a rancher. He got his leg caught between a calf and a trailer. That was just after the Stuart game earlier this year. Good return for the Broncos. Well, Coach Haraski, he broke his femur and tore some muscles, leading to a 9-week stint on crutches. He hopes he'll get him off around Thanksgiving, that he'll be able to ditch the crutches. His assistant coaches have really stepped up. He practiced that week, and he broke his femur. He to the game. Then they had a bye. He was able to stay home. He says having the crutches doesn't affect him during the game, but he likes to demonstrate in practice, so it really bothers him. The players have gotten some jabs in as well on his injury, asking if he's hurt or suggesting that he rub some dirt on it. Right now, he's feeling pretty good.
So incomplete pass there, and if that doesn't speak to toughness, Preston, as a six-man coach, can you appreciate, broke your femur, but I'm going to still show up to practice today and go to the doctor tomorrow.
That shows you how willing our coaches are in the state of Nebraska, that they're here for the boys. They're not here for themselves. None of us do it because we want this glory. We do it because we love the kids, and that right there speaks volumes.
Yeah, and lead by example, right? You talk about toughness, a tough mindset, and you can't attest to it better than that.
And speaking of toughness, there is a tough run by Litau. Jones making the tackle, but that'll be close to a first down.
Litau's one of the bigger guys on that Stuart roster. I think that's kind of what they need right now, a little dose of that toughness to try and match the toughness that SEM has brought to this opening first quarter. Wouldn't be surprised if the Broncos of Stuart kind of look to number 9, Owen Litau, a little bit more often here throughout the rest of this first half.
They do. They need to rely on him a little bit to, it's 3rd and 3. They need to get this first down, keep this ball moving, stay in the game, and just keep the momentum coming back to them.
3rd and 2. A lot of room to work with on the ground, and a first down for Stuart. Again, there is Litau on the carry.
Nifty little hesitation there in traffic, kind of let the traffic clear, and he got upfield to clear that first down.
There's Coach Haraski again. Said he hoped he would be off crutches. He's not, but he's still out here coaching. And again, quite the story. Excellent report by Michael Shively there.
Those cows and calves and heifers, steers, they get kind of rowdy, so that's what you're dealing with.
They do, and I can tell you this, both teams, areas, know lots about them.
Right? Saying it's fitting that we have Mustangs versus the Broncos here tonight.
Very, very fitting.
So 2nd down and 9, Stuart threatening here and searching for a much-needed score. They may get it here, getting to the pylon and in. Touchdown, Stuart. It's Drew Schmatter.
Really love that play design, especially how you had Cade Rum, the quarterback, turn into that lead blocker out on the edge, and that was the block that kind of sprung him, got him to daylight to that pay dirt into the end zone.
It did, and what I seen from Stuart there at the very end, the lead blocker right at the end zone, gave everything he had, and the safety actually stood up right before contact and allowed himself to get pushed in the end zone. That's the toughness you need to see.
And the 2-point kick is good. Stuart on the board. Drew Schmaderer, 9-yard score. They cut the lead in half. 16-8. SEM leads with 2:36 to play here in Kearney.
At Nebraska Orthopedic Center, they provide comprehensive orthopedic health care. Their physicians are highly skilled in all areas of orthopedic and sports medicine, including spine surgery, foot and ankle, hand and upper extremities, fracture care, and total joint replacement. Their expertise includes the medical management of injuries through physical and rehabilitative methods or surgical intervention. To schedule an appointment or to learn more about Nebraska Orthopedic Center and their family of 25 physicians, go online to nebraskaortho.com. That's nebraskaortho.com. Nebraska Orthopedic Center is your healing destination.
Welcome back. An action-packed first quarter here at the D6 State Championship in Kearney. Stuart getting on the board, and Preston, we've been talking about how important that was because, you know, SEM could have started turning into a snowball going downhill, and you needed to stop the momentum that they gained early.
They do, and that's the one thing. Stuart's really good offensively, and they're known to put up them points. So getting stopped a couple times, slowing down, and having that chance the SEM pulls it up even farther, it would have been heartbreaking. So I'm glad they got on the board.
Another pitch to Jones. This is his 10th carry. That's a 10-yard gain.
That's a great point, Coach, because it did feel like that was a huge drive, a big-time score. Stuart needed something positive to happen, and that answer, cutting the lead in half early on here, you know, kind of getting back into this one before it gets out of hand too early. And here we go. Mr. Maddox Jones picking up right where he left off. A tough run on first down.
Right back to Jones, and he looked like you could tell trying to get that cut back like he did on that last 27-yard touchdown run. Picks up enough for a first down there.
They do. In six-man, where it's so open, that cutback lane is vital to go get that big play. And so Stewart's got to flow with the run, but they got to be fundamentally sound and stay home enough, because if that cutback comes, he could be gone.
Well, that's pretty tricky, right? Because you got to flow with the ball, but you cannot over pursue, overextend. Otherwise, you leave it wide open on the back end.
Yes, best way to attack that is you got to attack the inside hip. Always focus on that inside hip.
Nice tackle there by Paxton for Stewart. This is one of the shorter gains for Jones tonight. Looks like they give him about 4. But they're doing nothing complicated thus far, Preston. It's a pitch to the left. Maddox Jones, you know, either go outside or cut it back, and, you know, if you don't need to change things up, don't.
No, and that's what they're going to do. That's SEM's game plan, is just to, this is what we do, try to stop us.
This time it's pitch right and not to Jones. I believe that's Scoville.
Yeah, Scoville's the speedier of the two. Excellent change of pace. And yeah, that really does give you a different look. And you could also see he runs with great vision too. Broke that off, stuck that right foot in the ground, got upfield.
He does. He's very gifted vision-wise, and you can definitely see the speed difference between the two.
Yeah, he really pressed the edge of the defense in a hurry.
There's pitch left to Jones, and look at that. What a play by Hunter Tubbs. Hitting him in the backfield for a loss to bring up 4th down.
That's what you want to see out of your defensive end, crashing down. That's your teach tape material right there, right, Coach? Grabbing the midsection, ripping him down.
Yes, he had him. When he got to the body, he got right around the waist, so that way he had control of the legs, control of everything. There was nowhere to go.
Right.
Perfect tackle.
And that will send us to the second quarter. 16-8 after 1. SEM leading Stuart. This is the 6-man state championship. You're watching News Channel Nebraska.
TCB was built by our communities, for our communities, and has remained dedicated to your financial prosperity for nearly 80 years. Experience the difference a family-owned independent community bank can make to you, your family, and our community. Work with our team of professionals in Stuart, Atkinson, O'Neill, and Bassett, Nebraska, where we are dedicated to building your future together. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
This broadcast is brought to you by Cunningham's Fire. Stop in at Fire Modern Grill in Kearney for a modern dining experience. Stryker Tractor, located at 509 Central Avenue in Eddyville, Nebraska. And by Tubbs Pub, where people meet to eat in downtown Sumner.
Welcome back. So SEM going for it on 4th and 9, and it's incomplete. Stewart will take over on downs. Coach, what did we just see there, and how do you feel about it?
I am 100% okay with it. In 6-man football, 8-man football, and you can even be an 11-man. If you get past the 40, you might as well go for it.
Yeah, Tubbs did a great job bringing that initial pressure, shedding off his blocker, and then applying that pressure on the quarterback and not allowing that deep down the field route to really develop.
Yeah, the pressure ruined that play.
Yeah.
And so Stuart takes over. Littau hit in the backfield, and then he decides to lay a hit on Scoville as he lowers the shoulder. That is a hard-fought 4 yards.
I kind of like how Stewart's kind of changed gears here, really leaning on their power rushing attack in this first half.
They did. They kind of went for that real, hey, look, we're going to be cute and throw the ball around and kind of get to the outside. If you want to play power, so can we.
And, Coach, as we reflect on that first 10 minutes and you analyzed what you saw, what were your takeaways from what we've seen from both teams?
For Stuart on defense, they're getting penetration, they're getting upfield, but the problem is they're not getting off the blocks once they get there. They're getting that close enough, but they just can't make the play because of that. SEM, it's kind of, you got to just stay down, stay to the plan, keep doing what you're doing, and you're going to be okay.
Well, this second quarter, it's brought to you by O Street Carpet. Go check out Steve Carper and the crew in Lincoln. Near 17th and O, they'll take care of all your flooring needs. O Street Carpet. 3rd down and 6, and look out! Nowhere to go for Rum. How about that for some defense?
Yeah, Rum tried to spin his way out of trouble, but the other side defensive end was crashing in as well. Big time tackle for loss on a big down. Going to bring up 4th and 15.
That is Graydon Anderson. That will go down as his 5th sack on the season, 12th tackle for a loss.
He got in there before the quarterback could even make a decision on what he was going to do.
And so now you're right at midfield if you're Stuart. They do opt to punt this one away. And it does roll into the end zone for a touchback.
Smart play by Maddox. Jones are allowing it to wobble into the end zone. Now they're going to get the ball out away from that goal line.
It is, and it's, you know, Stewart has a strategic decision to make here. They just had a big sack, so them punting it, it's going exactly against what I said earlier, but I like that idea of getting them pinned down there, trying to flip the field.
Yeah, you don't want 2 big negative plays back to back, you know, and then you're giving the ball back to SEM at midfield or worse.
So the Mustangs will take over on the 15. Hand off to Jones. There's a hard collision. We heard that one up here.
See, that's where that pad level, Ben Paxton getting low. Low man wins, right, Coach?
Low man wins every time, and if you see that, that's why he ended up coming backwards with the runner, because of the solid hit.
He also had a couple defenders colliding at the same time. Good team tackle. You love to see multiple defenders meet at the ball carrier.
16-8 your score on the Faith Regional scoreboard. When you need exemplary care, have Faith. Another short gain. The Stuart defense is bowing up here. So you have Maddox Jones, his last 3 carries, -5, 1, and 0.
Yeah, that time his would-be lead blocker got blocked into his running lane, and Dakey.
He did. That's that little penetration that we were talking about.
Yeah.
That's where they are getting off now. They're actually releasing and getting in the ways to make these plays.
Yeah, you got to credit Stuart making some, you know, on-the-fly defensive adjustments here throughout this first half, because SEM was on a roll to start this game off.
3rd and 15. Dakey. He's going to try to do it with his legs, and Stuart all over it. Hunter Tubbs was there first for the tackle. But you would imagine this will be a punting situation for the Mustangs.
Yeah, fantastic job getting outside, forcing the runner back into the middle of the field where the help was, where the rest of the defenders were coming from.
Yes, this is something I learned from my coach, and it's something I taught, and I'm sitting it tonight. You want, when we played 8-man, it was all 8 guys. Well, this is 6. I want all 6 guys to the ball with a bad attitude.
Yep. And Tubbs did a great job just running for that sideline, understanding leverage, and the sideline was his friend at that point.
Booming punt down at the 18. 5:36 remaining before halftime. We're reminding you that you want to stay tuned to watch our halftime highlights, brought to you by Sartor Heyman Jewelers. We'll recap all of the action from the first half. Reminder that high school football on NCN is presented by Currency, which makes financing quick, easy, and secure for machinery, ag equipment, and more. Visit gocurrency.com for details.
Coach, this feels like a huge drive for Stuart because so many things were working against him early in this game. Don't have to press right now with over 5.5 minutes left here, so they can run their base offense. If they could somehow get down, score, tie things up heading into halftime, we'd have a whole new game. And it didn't look that way early on.
No, it didn't. It actually looked like it could get out of hand in a hurry. And they've settled down. They're playing better football now. They're playing like the week 2 game.
Yeah.
It's going to come down to the end.
Yeah, back and forth. And, you know, it was Sumner Eddyville Miller that had the plays in the fourth quarter that provided the difference.
It was a 6-yard pickup by Letau on first down. They go back to him here on second. And hard yards once more by Letau, the junior.
You know, and I also think Stuart it feels like they kind of got forced into trying to match SEM with this power rushing attack. I feel that using this power rushing attack now is only going to help your passing game down the road. Like the run is helping set up the pass if the Broncos elect to go that way.
It is, and that's something you always want to see. And if you run, that defense has got to sell out to stop it. So eventually they're going to fall asleep. The guy's going to sneak out. And their passes have been there, just not been caught.
3rd down and 3. And an excellent open field tackle. Schmaderer looked like he had the corner for sure. Maddox Jones will close that quickly.
Boy, he did. Shot out of his linebacker position like a cannon. Got out there in a hurry.
You love to see the breakdown. He didn't overrun. He broke down. He was there and left nowhere to go.
You know, a lot of times you hear coaches say, slow to read, quick to react. That's what we saw right there, wasn't it? He was keeping his feet moving. As soon as he saw where the ball was going, got right to it, no wasted motion.
He did. There was no hesitation, and that hesitation kills a lot of plays. But when you just react and go, that's what happens.
Stuart opting to go for it here, and I don't think they got it.
If I'm going off the line judge, Brandon, I think they're just short.
Letau stuffed. Here's another look on the Madison County Bank instant replay. Just plugged up the middle, nowhere to go for Letau.
And those lead blockers were just a half step late getting over there to help out, finish the run. And it looks like the Mustangs going to take over it.
That's a big momentum swing right here.
It really is.
SEM will take over on the 32. And look at that. This has turned into a defensive showcase. Tubbs allowing nowhere to go for Jones.
Yeah, these defensive ends, outside linebackers, boy, they've really come to life, both for Stuart and SEM here in the second quarter.
They have, and he's timing his snap really, really well. It's almost like he's in the huddle. So once that ball snapped, he's getting through there and barely even getting touched.
That's a great point, Coach, where maybe Chance Dakey has to change up his snap count on the offensive side.
So SEM takes a timeout here. 16-8 your score. Now let's take a look at our school spotlight, brought to you by Currency. If your business needs help financing big ticket items, Currency is here to help. Visit gocurrency.com for details. So Sumner, Eddyville, Miller. You can see by the hyphens, 3 different communities making up the school. You see the populations of all 3. They're in Dawson and Buffalo County. Enrollment 52. They are the Mustangs, and they have 1 state title to their name. That was last year. They're trying to make it 2 in a row.
Back to back.
On the flip side for Stuart, town with a population of 486 in Holt County, 37 is the enrollment. They're the Broncos, and they've been here once, to the state championship that is. That was an 8-man state final in Class D2 in 2013, where they fell just short. This is their second time back to a final. They're hoping to bring home their first state title in school history. 2nd and 19 for SEM. There's a stiff arm. And there's a second stiff arm and a very impressive run there by Rhodey.
Wow, it's really cool to see Sumner Eddyville Miller, how they can change it up with multiple backs. They got the big bruiser here in Rhodey. They got the scat back, the quick back in Scoville, and then Maddox Jones, kind of your do-it-all running back that runs with great power, pad level. Man, they got a lot of different talented tailbacks to throw at you.
Reminded me of Marshawn Lynch throwing the stiff arm running downfield.
Well, it's back to Jones here on 3rd, and he's going to be short of the yard to gain. Tubbs making the tackle. Be sure to stay tuned for our halftime show, brought to you by Visit Kearney. You can find it all in Kearney.
Stuart had an impressive stop defensively just a couple minutes ago. Can they bow up one more time as we're under 2 minutes to go?
Fourth down and 4, and it'll be a first down. Jones gets to the corner and close to the goal line.
Wow, falling forward, working for those last couple, 3-4 yards. Gavin Mustin just couldn't quite get him out of bounds.
We do have a flag, though, and this is actually the first we've seen tonight. It's against SEM, so hold everything.
A little bit of a roar from both crowds there, and I think I know what side of the fence each fan base is sitting on here.
Yeah, he had the edge, and he wasn't going to get there. So the lineman just got a little greedy, got his arms out too far extended. If he could have kept him in close.
Yeah. See some jersey getting tugged here. We should send that footage into the Big Ten officials, right? No.
Oh, we should. Wow. Well, I watch all the games, and there's many times.
Just guessing there's a lot of Husker fans watching and enjoying this game here tonight. Might have been a couple of holds from USC to Nebraska last weekend.
Well, because of this hold, it's a 4th and 14. A minute and change to go. And SEM, they're going to go for it here. Throwing it up, a wide open receiver, and a touchdown for the Mustangs. Preston Beatty.
Beatty was open the whole way, Brandon. He was cutting across. He was that middle drag route, and I was really impressed with Dakey buying time, allowing him to clear out of all the traffic, then appeared wide open, and talk about a dime coach. Perfect pass once again.
It was right on the money. He didn't have to wait. He didn't have to make any special play to catch that ball. It was right in line. Great methodical play.
Yeah, and you could tell he wanted to go vertical. It appeared that way, but no, he bought himself some time, just kind of worked left. He wasn't rushed, but he was playing quick.
Beatty, 60 yards receiving on the season, 5 total receptions. How about a 31-yard touchdown catch, his first touchdown of the season here in the state championship. 24-8, SEM leading Stuart. You're watching high school football on News Channel Nebraska.
This is the start of something fun. Kind that's best had outdoors. Where family gathers and adventure awaits. The good tidings that make for even better times. And with the right stuff at the right price, the most wonderful time of year happens here. Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there.
Fans here enjoying a good one at Ron and Carol Cope Stadium in Kearney. SCM on a 4th and long scores a 31-yard touchdown to go up by 16 right before halftime. As we have a very big return here by Stuart. Past midfield goes Benjamin Paxton.
Okay, that might have been the spark they're looking for to close out this half. That would be huge if Stuart could just get a couple opportunities here to try and get something into the end zone.
They do, but they got to be smart. Don't try to get too cute because you don't want to give that ball back to them right now.
And it does feel like SEM, they're going to bring the pressure defensively. I don't think they know any other way. Those defensive ends, linebackers, boy, do they love to get that penetration, get into the backfield, disrupt.
So this drive starts on SEM's 36. Handoff right up the middle to Paxton, who just had that nice return. It's about 5, maybe 6.
Stuart calls a timeout here after the run.
Instant replay brought to you by Madison County Bank. Here to help you grow, rather, and also Beatrice Community Hospital. Incredible care, incredibly close.
You got to think, Coach, that Stuart, with their multiple offense, they like the RPOs, they run the spread, the Wildcat. This type of scenario might fit them a little bit better, where they can put the ball in the air, and if it's incomplete, it'll stop the clock.
Yes, here's where passing is actually going to help you more, because you can get that incomplete pass, stops clock, you can reset. If you run the ball, your clock never stops running, and you got to rush back in, get the play calls, or burn your timeouts. You want to be smart and methodical with this, but you need to pick up them yards.
Yeah, and SEM, they're just so good, fundamentally sound at tackling. If you do run the ball, it might be a struggle to get out of bounds, because SEM's going to bring you down before you can get to that sideline.
So both teams with 2 timeouts remaining, 47 seconds on the clock, 2nd and 11, and there's a error on the exchange by Stuart, and crisis averted. It just goes down as an incompletion there as Rum throws it out of play.
Boy, Rum did a heck of a job here, scooping the ball up, and then, are you thinking that's an illegal pass?
It's not an illegal pass, but there was nobody in the area, and so they could drop the intentional grounding.
Well, with the rules, after the fumble there and the snap, does everybody become eligible, though, as a receiver?
Everybody's eligible as a receiver right after the snap. The quarterback cannot run it since there was not a pitch. He's not able to run that ball.
3rd down and 11. There's the pitch. And so there you see the run. And it's enough for a 1st down. Excellent there by Rum.
So the clock will stop as the chains get reset, but Stuart needs to be ready. As soon as that ball is set down, you got to snap it right away to save time.
Yes, and keep that same play in mind, because it opens the field so much for the quarterback to run.
Another pitch to Rum so he can run again. This time he's going to use his arm, and excellent defense there by SEM. I believe that was Scoville on the coverage.
Yeah, that was a couple of times where I think both the offensive guy and defensive guy each got their hands on the ball. No one comes down with it.
He did. The receiver actually ended up trying to play defense because the pass was thrown behind him a little bit, but defense got away with a little bit of a hold on that play.
Yeah, and he cut underneath of that pass as well. Ends up going over the top. It allowed Hunter Tubbs to could have made a play at the ball and then waltzed into the end zone.
18 seconds, 2nd and 15, ball on the 20. It's a quick pass, a hook and ladder, and what do you know, Stuart finds the end zone. Drew Schmaderer takes it in for a 20-yard score.
There it is, Brandon, that razzle-dazzle I was telling you about in the pregame. Stuart can change it up, throw a curveball at you on the offensive side. What a fun brand of football to watch.
I love it. I love the hook and ladder. I've never had the guts to call it. I've never wanted to even try it, but I love seeing it.
Well, if there was ever a time, you're closing in on 10 seconds, the end of the half, you got to get something going for yourself. Stuart pulls it off. Big time drive at the end of this first half to close the gap.
Staying within a score is huge right here. And Stuart gets the ball.
Yeah, big play, big offensive drive as a whole.
24-16. Here in Kearney, glad you're with us for the D6 State Championship on News Channel Nebraska. Brandon Axelman, Andy Klassen, Preston Galey, and Michael Shively. We have ourselves an 8-point ball game. 12 seconds to go. Preston, if you're SEM, I guess depending on the return, but you kneel assuming you don't have a chance, or you run a play no matter what?
You run a play no matter what. You got a good gifted running back. He makes people miss, and he's made people miss all game.
Yeah.
Let him take that shot. Taking the kneel and just, you're giving up. Okay, hey, yep, they got momentum. You break off a 40-yard run and get tackled. Momentum just jumped back on your side.
Yeah, and how many times have we seen throughout this first half? It comes down to a one-on-one tackle. Of course, SEM's going to try and design a play to get a playmaker in space.
So that goes through for a touchback. We'll see what SEM has here. Starting on the 15, 11 seconds to play.
Boy, this is, as a defense, I hate that prevent defense, but you got to keep a couple guys back here. Still like to see the Broncos try and bring some pressure, though, and not just allow Dakey all day to pass the ball, because we know he will find the open receiver. We've already seen it.
And look out. Scoville hit and taken down, 14-yard gain.
Late flag, that might be a face mask, Coach.
Yep, bringing him down. He made that guy almost miss, and he was grabbing for about anything he could to make sure he didn't get away and break that big run.
So tack on 15 yards, and we might see another heave to the end zone here.
You're at that spot in the field where what's it going to hurt? You just tell your receivers that you can't let the defense get that ball and run with it.
Boy, and it kind of looked intentional there. Unintentional, I mean. Paxton was just coming over to help out. Looked like he got his hand kind of stuck in there. He was trying to pull it out of the face mask, but rules are rules.
Yeah, anytime you see that face mask or the helmet turn just a little bit, they're going to call it every time.
So the ball now into Stuart territory. They put it at the 38.
Just gives it one more opportunity, as it looks like we have another timeout here for Chance Dakey, the quarterback, or Sumner Eddyville Miller, to kind of showcase his big arm, and we've seen it a couple of times here already.
Well, we would like to remind you, for those who are perhaps tuning into NCN for the first time, we are on Twitter, formerly Twitter, I should say. It's now X, at NCN Sports is our handle. We have over 12,000 people who follow us. You should join the club if you're a high school sports fan. If you like watching games on TV or online, we televise a lot of them. We tweet out our broadcast schedule every week. We have rankings, we have interviews, we have highlights and game updates from our entire team of sports announcers and reporters across the entire state of Nebraska. And Andy, this is how we get them.
Okay.
Shout outs at halftime to new followers. Halftime's in 5 seconds. Follow us at NCN Sports. You'll probably get a shout out live on the air.
Hey, we had some pictures from deer camp last weekend during the broadcast. It's the second weekend of the rifle deer season right now. Maybe we'll have some more.
Well, here's what we expect to be the final play of the half. There's the heave, and it's batted down by a Stuart defender. And incomplete. That was Gavin Mustin on the coverage.
Did a real nice job cutting underneath this route, getting his hands on the ball, and knocking it down. There we go.
You know, smart play, because there was enough pressure. The quarterback didn't have time to even get set to make that long throw. He had to keep rolling out. And when you're rolling out like that, it's so much harder to plant and get that deep throw.
Action-packed first half here from Kearney. The defending champs, Sumner Eddyville Miller, take an 8-point lead into halftime, 24-16, here on News Channel Nebraska. We'll be back.
This broadcast is brought to you by Greater Sandhills Family Healthcare, PC of Stuart, Atkinson, and Bassett. Tri-County Bank. Check out all their services and locations at tricountybank.com. And by Northeast Nebraska Telephone Company, offering fiber-fast internet, the fastest internet everywhere.
Stop into Zollner Ford Beatrice and check out these great fall offers. A 2024 Ford F-250 starting at only $47,999. Or choose 1.9% financing with approved credit. Check out ZollnerFordBeatrice.com for our $399 a month lease specials on many models in stock. Check out the 2024 full-size hardtop Broncos starting as low as $39,999. We are Zollner Ford Beatrice, Nebraska's volume dealer with the hometown service you expect.
Kearney, Nebraska is the getaway you never knew you needed. With comfortable, premium lodging, eclectic shopping, and a variety of locally owned craft food and drink options, Kearney has something for everyone. By day, you'll find rich history, outdoor adventure, and some of America's most unique attractions. And by night, our many entertainment options, dazzling performances, and unique hangouts offer the perfect way to unwind. Visit Kearney. It's so much more than just in the middle.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Western Oil. Stop by your nearest Speedy Mart or Good to Go convenience stores today. U-Safe Pharmacy, dedicated to the well-being of all our customers. And by Zollner Ford Lincoln, meeting your sales, service, and parts needs.
Just finished an epic game? Keep the excitement going with a stop at Good to Go convenience store on your way home. Refuel with a fresh coffee. Grab a tasty sandwich and fill up your tank to be ready for the next adventure. Whether you're celebrating a win or discussing the highlights, Good to Go has all your post-game refreshments covered. Make it a part of your game day routine.
Good to Go post-game snacks.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. I love it. Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
We're definitely coming back.
Sure. We have a wedding band to buy. So.
We do, yes, the wedding bands. We'll be back for that.
Starter Heyman Jewelers, downtown 12th and O, South Point Pavilions, and Grand Island.
This broadcast is brought to you by Beatty Family Farms, cheering for the SEM Mustangs to bring home the bacon. And by News Channel Nebraska. Follow us on X at NCN Sports.
Whether we're talking commercial or residential plumbing, Lamel Plumbing is the place you call. Lamel provides 24-hour emergency service as well. Call them if you get in a tight spot. And as for their retail items, well, you got to check out some of their faucets, some of their kitchen items, and some of their bathroom items like their Onyx showers. And hey, say you've got a digging job, you call Lamel Plumbing for that too. They've added a full-time crew for you, doing backhoe, trenching, and sewer work. Take that digging job off your list and have Lamel do it for you. That's Lamel Plumbing in Beatrice, now at their new location on North 7th Street in Beatrice.
Nate Newhouse, the assistant director of the NSAA, joining me now here at halftime, and it's always fun when you get out to state championship season. This is starting the end of the fall sports season. What's it been like for the NSAA throughout this entire cross country and on?
It's been a great 2 or 3 weeks. We get really excited about these opportunities for young men and women to participate in these championship events. The weather has been fantastic, and so we're just excited to wrap up what was a really good fall football, volleyball, cross country, tennis season.
Hey, or you can throw softball in there too.
I forgot one, yeah.
I was trying to go through them in my head too. There's so many and it's so fun. And Six Man is kind of its own brand. They get their own night, they get their own venue, and it's always fun here. SEM brought folks. The Stuart fans haven't sat down yet. What do you think about Six Man continuing, getting its own night and its own venue?
The energy is fantastic, and UNK treats us so well when we play here. Jake Greco and his team. I want to thank everybody here at UNK for hosting us. It's a tremendous environment. Good to see the Stuart crowd come out in big numbers, the SEM crowd again like last year. We'll continue to play six-man here for as long as they'll have us. This is a tremendous event.
And pretty good looking video board behind us too.
Great looking video board. It adds a lot to the environment.
You're wearing the Loper hat, so we got to make sure we give UNK some love there. It's not just 6-man though. We have 8-man and 11-man football coming up Monday and Tuesday. What do you want people to know about what's happening in Lincoln?
Again, just an opportunity to watch the best of the best in the state compete for the championships. There'll be 6 really good games starting on Monday morning and finishing up on Tuesday night. The weather is going to cooperate, might be a little chilly, but if you can come on down and watch good football, I'd love to have you.
So 6-man is staying here. There's some folks concerned they're going to switch at some point to grass for Memorial Stadium, but the NSAA and I know the university have talked, and I believe you guys are excited to keep playing at Memorial Stadium.
Correct. We've had great conversations with UNL, and it's no different than here at UNK. They want to host us. They want to put these athletes in the best of the best facilities, so we'll continue to play there as long as we can, and the grass shouldn't chase us off.
Well, we have a refereeing crew here. I believe I heard they're from Shadron, and you're having some great crews that have worked all season. They'll be there Monday and Tuesday as well. What's it take to put all these events on from the officiating perspective?
Well, it's been a long year, and these officials work really hard. Some of them have worked anywhere from 10 to 15 to 20 contests. That's just at the varsity level. They're also working sub-varsity and lower level games. So these are championship events for the officials, just as they are for the schools and the community. So they're excited. They work really hard. The crews that we've assigned are really ready to have a good night in a championship game, much like the teams do.
Well, it's been going well so far. We're hoping for a good second half and a great Monday and Tuesday. Nate, thanks for all you do for high school sports and for taking some time to chat.
I appreciate it. News Channel Nebraska has done a good job, fantastic job of covering us, not only with this event, but the other sports that we put on. So it's a great teamwork. We appreciate the partnership.
And it's our pleasure to do it. Stay with us. We have more halftime coverage coming up between Sumner, Eddyville, Miller, and Stuart here on News Channel Nebraska.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Women have a 1 in 8 chance for developing breast cancer. Early detection makes a difference. Beatrice Community Hospital's Imaging Center can help with the latest technology, from screening with 3D mammography, breast MRI, breast ultrasound, and breast biopsy. All services conveniently located in the BCH's Imaging Center. Schedule your screening today. Incredible care, incredibly close.
Welcome back here to Ron and Carol Cope Stadium. Brandon Axman, Andy Klassen, Preston Gailey coming to you from the press box. 24-16 is your score. SEM leading Stuart. Glad you're with us for the D6 State Championship broadcast. Andy, let's start with you. What stuck out from that first half and what you saw?
Well, Mr. Jones toted the football, right, for SEM, already over 100 yards rushing. He started hot, he ended hot. He has been the wheel, the cog that just keeps churning for that powerful Mustang offense. On the other side, Stuart, when they got physical, Littau on the offensive side, nearly 50 yards rushing, Tubbs leading the way, leading in tackles. That's the physicality that Stuart needed to match SEM throughout that first half.
Coach Gailey, how big is it? We alluded to Stuart getting that score to end the half, and of course, now they get it to start the third.
It's huge because when you start in the hole, you got to find a way to fight and claw your way back. And they've done that. They've stayed in this game. They've never gave up. Got a nice little trick play to end the half. They're ready to go.
Looking forward to a great second half, but first, let's take a look back at what we saw in the first half. Our halftime highlights brought to you by Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Stunning engagement collections, dazzling diamonds, and gemstones can be found at their Lincoln and Grand Island locations as we see all of the action here. in the first half, and this is how things got started. Maddox Jones, who has rushed for nearly 100 yards in that first half on 17 carries. That's the first 5-yard touchdown score on the Mustangs' opening drive, makes it 8-0 after the 2-point kick. And then this is what we talked about. Things got and looked dicey for Stuart. A 3-and-out. Jones comes right back down and scores, makes it 16-0 on this 27-yarder.
Yeah, this is what we're saying, where Stuart had to step up and match that physicality, that physical brand of football that SEM brought to the table early on, and there you saw it. Good answer from Stuart.
The answer coming by Drew Schmaderer, a 9-yard touchdown run to round out the first quarter at 16-8 after 1. And we saw some great defense. We saw a shift in what Stuart seemed to be doing. They had an answer for Jones after those first 2 series for the Mustangs.
And that was Hunter Tubbs making another tackle for loss.
Here comes the Mustangs' 3rd touchdown, though, on a 4th and forever. A 31-yard touchdown pass to Preston Beatty. That was with 1:04 to go in the second quarter. It's 24-8 SEM, but the Stuart Broncos, they get on the board once more before halftime. The hook and ladder. That's a pitch from Ben Paxton to Drew Schmaderer. 20 yards, that coming with 12 seconds to go. SEM wouldn't do anything with those 12 seconds, so it's 24-16 here at the break.
Perfect timing, too. The initial reception, keeping his feet and getting that pitch out to Schmaderer, who just ran down that sideline and into the end zone.
He did, and just enough hesitation to pull the defense in. So right when we let go of the ball, they were focusing on him and left the sideline wide open.
Drew the defense in. Perfect hook and ladder execution.
24-16 your score. Let's take a look at this D6 bracket. How did these 2 programs get here? SEM, the defending state champs, and the 1 seed. So you said they took down Diller Odell. Again, fairly handily, and followed that up with a victory over Garden County to advance here. That was a 36-12 victory in the semis to make it here. As for Stuart, they defeated Hayes Springs in a fairly close one. Hayes Springs was the team that lost by 1 to SEM in this game last year. The Broncos knock off the defending D6 runners-up, and they have a shot here to take down the Mustangs as well.
Yeah, and earlier in the season, Broncos lost a heartbreaker to SEM, only decided by 3 points, 36-33, and both coaching staffs alluded to the fact that the Mustangs just made a couple more plays down the stretch in the 4th quarter. Boy, it kind of feels like that's the way this one's shaping up.
It is. It's going to turn into the same thing. Who's going to make the plays when it counts at the very end? Last game, you're not holding anything back. All cards are on the table. Let's see what happens.
Double hook and ladder, Brandon. Double.
Love it. 6-man state championship here on NCN. We have about 5 minutes until this 3rd quarter gets underway. We'll be back. You're watching our halftime show.
This broadcast is brought to you by Bloomin' Daisies Floral and Gifts. Congratulations, Stuart football team and coaches, on a great season from Bloomin' Daisies Floral and Gifts in Stuart. Kaups Financial Advisors, located in Stuart. And by Crotter's Home and Auto Center, wishes the Stuart Broncos the best of luck.
Woodhouse Buick GMC has your next vehicle. Whether you're looking for a reliable SUV like the Buick Envision or a powerful truck like the GMC Sierra, our staff will help you find the right vehicle. Take advantage of current offers going on now. Shop in-store or online at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com. Woodhouse Buick GMC. We are professional grade.
Both coaches are confident heading into the second half of a one-score state championship game. Talking to Shane Haraski, the head coach for Sumner Eddyville Miller, as he crunched his way to the locker room. He said, we got a little stagnant there on offense. Our run plays weren't bursting like they were in the first quarter. He says they're going to mix things up in their run calls a little bit more on offense in the second half. Concerned about the momentum trending back to Stuart there. He said the defense is really important. They come out and get a good defensive stand to start this second half. Talking to Coach Sherman on the Stuart side, he said it was giant that they were able to get a score there before halftime, that you cannot fall too far behind against a quality team like Sumner Eddyville Miller. He said he's worried about the defense playing good enough assignment football. He said his linebackers got caught over pursuing. They're going to try to correct that in the second half. Guys?
Thank you, Michael, and always appreciate the coaches taking time to add their insight as we get ready for this third quarter. We have 2.5 minutes, and before we talk into a little bit more football and get ready for the third, we promised shout-outs. And the people listening at NCN Sports following us on X. So Jaleel Thomas giving us a follow at NCN Sports. Vinny, Clay Farrell, MT giving us a follow. All at NCN Sports on Twitter. They're going to be enjoying rankings and broadcast schedules for years to come. Chad Hoffman, a follow. Zach Hunnell following us. Joel Panter, Mick John, Josh Akins, Donnie Miller, and Ian Simons all following us at NCN Sports on X. And we promise you won't regret it.
They're going to see a link to quite a highlight package one way or the other being tweeted out. Is it still called tweeted out even though it's X now? How does that go, Brandon?
That just sort of caused my brain to melt. I'm not quite I don't know where to go with that.
Posted, sent out.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Preston may have a better idea, but I've drawn a blank.
I'm looking for the little kids around here. They might be able to explain it.
Get some youngsters up here in the booth.
Well, 1:42 left on the clock here, and we hope you're enjoying the broadcast from home. 24-16 is your score. We do have a nice little road map to show you how these two teams got here. Sumner Eddyville Miller, they didn't have to go far in comparison to Stuart. Stuart's not a bad drive. Sometimes you get the teams from the Panhandle that have to drive
Falls
several
City,
hours.
from southeast corner.
But to Nate Newhouse's point, when you have the state championship for six-man at Kearney, more in the center of the state, it's a little bit more equitable for everyone.
Really is, and I don't think you could have a better setting, community that kind of rallies around an event like this. We always feel welcome, and it's quite the press box. We kind of get babied up here, don't we?
Certainly cannot complain. Our home for the six-man and also all of the UNK Loper home games, and we appreciate the hospitality as we have returned. Well, Stuart's going to get the ball. Preston, offensively, how do you approach this opening drive if you're the coach? Do you stick with the power that was really started working after the sort of failed first drive of being cute and throwing it, or do you maybe try to switch things up by going back to trying to be cute and throwing it?
I think you go about half and half. You want to still implement that passing threat that you have. You don't want to turn yourself one-dimensional. And having that ability to throw the ball around or even allow your quarterback to be a weapon like he is something that could actually hurt the Mustangs.
Yeah, I really like that. I mean, when you have an athlete like Rum at quarterback, you got to allow him to use all of his tools, right? Open up that toolbox. He's an accomplished thrower, a big arm, and he's a tough runner. We saw that in the first half. So, yeah, open things up and, kind of let the flow of the game, right, dictate a little bit of where this is going to go. That was a huge score, as coaches alluded to Michael Shively during the halftime report there, getting that score late for the Broncos.
Well, here we go. Stuart will start things off here in the second half of the D6 State Championship live from Kearney here on CN. This drive will start, looks like at the 28.
Boy, it just kind of felt like Stuart missed an opportunity, gave up that late first half touchdown, but then a couple of big plays are able to come back and answer, almost negate that huge momentum play that Sumner and Eddyville Miller had.
It is, and they got to just keep to the grindstone, keep the positive momentum going, and everything's going to work out. But be ready, because there's going to be some hard times coming in the second half. Both teams play everything they got.
No doubt. Love that play call, though, going right back to Latau. You power back, kind of sending a message on first down.
It is, and this opens up, so now you could actually throw the ball if you wanted it right here, because you still have that chance to get the second down.
Latau at 48 yards rushing in the first half. There he gets the 4 necessary to move the chains.
Hey, and nimble enough. You know, he's a big back, he's your power back, but you saw him kind of keep those feet moving and navigate his way through some traffic there to get that first down.
He did. He had that cutback lane, and it was open, but SEM guy did a really good job of staying home and making sure that big play wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, coaches were kind of harping on their defenders over the break, according to our sideline reporter, Michael Shively, saying they were worried about over pursuit, but it's like, you got to sell out and get to that edge, especially in 6-man. You can't allow him to get that sideline.
Going to see a pass here. Wide open receiver, and it's dropped into the breadbasket of Hunter Tubbs. A huge pickup for the Broncos.
Beautiful job by Rum here, laying this ball out, up and in front, and allowing Tubbs to just run underneath of it and not break stride whatsoever. Look how that pass allowed Tubbs to continue that separation, gaining separation away from the defense.
Beautiful ball, and as a coach, I'm looking at that quarterback going, step into your throws. He threw that off his back foot, a dime.
That was a 34-yarder. It's first and goal from the 2. And that is a touchdown for the Broncos. Latau punches it in.
Well, that's the mix we were talking about, Coach. Utilize that power rushing attack. They set the table with Latau early on. It's only fitting that he caps it off at the end with a powerful touchdown run. And you saw a really nice pass play sprinkled in the middle.
It is, and that's what makes Stuart dangerous. They can do that very, very well. They're not a one-dimensional team. They can hurt you.
2-point kick is good, and just like that, we're tied 24-24. Don't anywhere. D6 State 5 in Kearney on News Channel Nebraska.
Your child is your whole world, and you want nothing but the best for them. Here at Faith Regional Physician Services Pediatrics, we couldn't agree more. Which is why our providers are dedicated to offering the highest level of care to those who matter most to you. Our pediatric experts not only specialize in teddy bears, stickers, and smiles, but most importantly, your child's growth, development, and overall health. As a parent, you can expect our providers to deliver comprehensive, personalized care to help your child grow happy and healthy while ensuring you.
Welcome back here, the 6-man football state championship. Here's SEM with the kickoff return. They're going to get near midfield. Well, this is a battle of the Mustangs and the Broncos. It is not at a Ford dealership either. They're talking about the horses. A little bit of a difference for Broncos. They're a horse that bucks. They're bred for this. They're in rodeos. Mustangs, they're a feral horse, a specific breed. You don't need me to tell you that. You could ask Owen Latau. He's the player that just scored the touchdown for Stuart. He knows all about the rodeo world. As a matter of fact, he's a multi-time state champion at the high school level. This past summer, he was the team roping state champion. He was the healer in that group. Latau also finished second in tie-down roping. He's competed multiple times at the National High School Rodeo, so still a state champion no matter what happens tonight, but he'd love to add another medal to his collection.
Excellent stuff from Michael Shively there. 6-man state football. It's just different, Preston.
Not surprised.
Tells the story right there.
It is. It takes so much for these kids to be able to do what they do, and outside of what they do just on the gridiron.
Yeah, Littau, no surprise that he's a tie-down champion. And he's also in the team roping, the healer. That's the tough one, you know, right, Coach? I mean, you got the head being roped of the steer, and then the heel. The heel's the tough one, and that's what Littau's taken on.
Wouldn't surprise me if he tried steer wrestling.
Bulldogging.
That was a first down pickup. And again, we see another carry by Rhodey.
Good team tackle. Littau's in on it. Ben Paxton finishes it off.
Well, this third quarter, it's brought to you by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of the pain, not just the symptoms. Husker Rehab, as we have a second down and 17 after a couple of carries back to back by Rhodey. Now to the air, there's a completion to Maddox Jones. Look out, first down and then some as he's tackled at the 10.
Beautiful play design. He had multiple vertical routes, and those were just decoys, just getting the defense to back off a little bit, throw that little pop pass right underneath. Look how he once again puts enough air under it to get over that first line of defense.
It is, and that's one of the tougher ones to defend because you have your guys going to rush the quarterback. He sits there, blocks for 2 count, and then releases late. Yeah. He gets lost in the commotion.
And your cover guys were tied up down the field on the vertical routes.
Now to Jones on the pitch. He's reaching for the end zone.
Oh, he's
they
close.
Mark him short. He might have stepped down. Looks like they say he was down at the 2.
Yeah, so SEM, a couple big plays of their own here to kind of match Stuart in their opening drive. Boy, and that's how fast things can change, because Stuart had a couple tackles for loss back-to-back, but SEM, a creative play, a pass play, kind of breaking things open here.
It is, and they're playing to their advantages and the weaknesses of the other team. SEM's running so hard and downhill, Stewart's got to sell out. So now they're selling out on the run, and they missed a little pass.
And that is Jones. Touchdown number 3 as SEM retakes the lead.
And there was no doubt that offensive line did a really nice job firing off, getting that initial block, and there was no doubt Maddox Jones is going to find the end zone.
The way he runs, you can just see that when he gets that close, he's not going to be denied that extra yard or 2.
Yeah, you saw those pads, level go down, kind of drop at the point of contact. You knew he was going to get it.
And the 2-point kick is good. 32-24 is your score in Kearney. SEM back on top midway through the third. We'll be back.
Ashoff Construction of Osmond is your leader in engineering and designing your new building, additions to facilities, and concrete construction. Their professional projects can be seen across northeast Nebraska. Whether it's a business office, barn, shop, or addition to an existing building, when the project is complete, you'll have a building that meets the needs of your operation. Check out ashoffconstruction.com or call Scott, Kenny, or Luke in Osmond at 402-748-3551.
Need relief from pain or support for recovery? Don't just see anyone, see the trainer. From bracing to home health and rehab products, they provide the right solutions to keep you moving. Whether it's a chronic condition or sudden injury, their expert team will help you find the perfect fit. With a wide range of in-stock orthopedic, sports medicine, or rehabilitation products, See the Trainer is dedicated to improving your quality of life. Visit the professionals at See the Trainer in Columbus.
A touchback to start off this possession. We just saw Maddox Jones score. It turns out every player I want to talk about, they've been scoring touchdowns here in the second half. Maddox Jones Well, he almost didn't even play running back this year. Despite running for 1,700 yards and 29 touchdowns a season ago, he was unsure what position he was going to play going into this season. He thought there's a chance he could be a fullback. There's a chance he could be along the line. He ended up, because his teammate Graydon got healthy, being able to play running back, and SEM very thankful that he was. Maddox said he just decided he was going to be bigger, faster, and stronger than everybody, dedicated himself in the offseason to the weight room. You can see it paying off tonight at his preferred position, but he did tell me he would have been willing to play along the offensive line if he had to, anything to get back to this championship game.
Coach, expand on that. I think that speaks to just what you have to deal with as a coach, personnel, moving pieces around, and you have a 1,700-yard rusher that you might be forced to play as a lineman.
It is. It's something that's really hard to do, and you got to sit down, and you got to have great kids that are willing to do it. My second year coaching, Jake Sanders started 3 years. It was his fourth year, and I made him a lineman because he could snap the ball better, and he was strong enough to block. And Jacob played quarterback for us. He did it, didn't complain, and played his tail off. That's the type of players you need to build a program right there.
Boy, and that type of stuff sticks with you. You rattled that name off right away. You know, you remembered that and that kind of sacrifice that these players make.
So you had the penalty by Stuart. You had a ball on the ground. Do we have a late flag here?
I think you're going to get a late hit on Paxton.
A lot to unpack here.
Yeah, loose ball, fumble on the sideline, kind of a scrum for it. I think they're going to get a late hit here. That's when the flag came out. Does appear to be a personal foul.
Those are really, really hard to deal with. The ball was on the ground, and you're coming in late to try to make a play. But once the ball's on the ground and once everybody else is stopped, you can't go running in there wide.
Well, and it almost looked like the second guy gets caught. You know, SEM might have got a little bit of a shot in there, so Stuart retaliated. Like you said, Coach, you got to keep your cool, but still don't like to see your guy take a shot and then you not be able to do anything about it.
Here's another look. Ball is out. Okay, so
there it was.
That was a reaction to reaction, and that does cost you a lot.
A little shovel pass.
Oh no.
Second and long. Did the ball pop out? SEM thinks they have it.
They do.
They do. Turnover. Mustangs have the ball.
Well, officials kind of talking over here.
I thought he was down.
And I thought initially that's what the officials are going to go with because you didn't see a call one way or the other.
Oh, and I think it is back to Stuart ball.
You're right, Coach. You got it right. We never really had an official call there. I do like that head coach Sherman went back to Paxton after he had that penalty, give him a shot to make up for it.
Watching the replay, I don't know if he was down or not.
Well, after it's all said and done, it's 3rd and 12. Rum gets to the corner, and oh my goodness. And that has put an injection into the Stuart sidelines and right in front of the traveling fans. Rum lowering the shoulder here.
Coach, you gotta love the way this quarterback finished the run. That reminds me of Eric Crouch, number 7.
It looked identical, even the little stare down after. I love that. That is true definition of Nebraska football.
Yes, it is, and you saw a bunch of fans from Holt County wearing camouflage here tonight.
And after the reference to Eric Crouch, you have the option the very next play. And another nice pickup for Latau. was a 22-yarder by Rum.
Boy, it just takes that one play to really spark the offense. Now it feels like Stuart has all the momentum in the world coming off of what looked like an SEM turnover.
Well, that, he had the holding call, the unsportsmanlike conduct call. They were deep.
There's a good play.
That's Preston Beatty making the tackle. Not much there for Schmaderer.
Yeah, winning one-on-one was Beatty, coming off his block. Secures the tackle at the line of scrimmage. Once again, Coach, wrapping up that midsection.
Yeah, if you get that midsection wrapped up and they can't do nothing with it, with their legs, they're done. They're a sit and duck.
3rd down and 4. So Rum thought about throwing. He's going to do it with his legs. Rum with a lot of real estate, going for the pylon. He's pushed out just shy of the end zone.
And that's what Coach Colin Sherman was talking about. Big arm, Caden Rum, but he also has the wheels. And look at this decision. As soon as he decided to tuck it and run, the Jets, the afterburners, came on right away.
Best thing about that play that I seen is what he did the minute he decided to run. The minute he decided to go, he tucked that ball away to be a runner. No chance of getting it tapped out, high and tight, off he went.
31 yards, it's 1st and goal from the 4. There's the pitch, the ball is out. Oh my goodness.
That's the 3rd time on this drive alone Stuart has put the ball on the turf.
Schmaderer recovers and he's down at the 1.
Boy, tip your cap to this Mustang defense, getting their hands in there, ripping away at that ball, really keeping the pressure on these ball carriers of Stuart.
They're being very aggressive, and that's what you want to see. You want a defense that's not only a for sure tackle, but they want that ball.
So it's 2nd and goal from the 1. Pitch, and in there for the score is Owen Latau, his 2nd trip to the end zone tonight.
Boy, it wasn't pretty the whole way, but credit Stuart for, tracking down those fumbles, keeping the possession, getting that touchdown.
Didn't they say after the first week it's who's going to make the play at the very end? Yeah. It's coming down to that.
Uh-oh.
And speaking of making plays, you have a blocked 2-point kick attempt. And it'll leave SEM in the lead.
That was the speedster once again, Schreier, right? Or was that number 33, Scoville, who we talked about? Getting in the backfield. Boy, he got there in plenty of time.
They do, and that's why in 6-man the extra points were 2. It's so much harder to kick that. You can't block, and everybody can just squeeze in there. You almost want to take your kicker and have him do a 1-step kick. It ain't gonna get long, ain't gonna be near as deep, but that 1 step could be huge.
And man, you look at last state champ, SEM beat, and when they beat Hay Springs, it came down to a blocked 2-point attempt late in the game, so that they won.
Yeah, I was thinking that in the first half, just how big each one of these 2-point conversions are. Saw it last year championship. First time these two teams squared off. There's a 3-point game at the end.
I think it was my 3rd year, I remember we did not have a kicker, so we always had to go for the 1. And then at the end of the game, it cost us, even though we scored more touchdowns.
And to that point, too, I was going to say, up until that blocked kick, we had both these teams doing the 2-point kicks and doing them successfully, which is usually outside. You don't typically have a kicker that you see that can do that, and perhaps a big reason why both these teams are here.
It is, and it's a huge weapon to have in 6-man. Plus, the field goal is not worth 3 points. it's extra.
Huge. Well, and now SEM could elect to just take the secure 1 point if they were to score another touchdown, realizing that Stuart's always going to be trying to make up that last 2-point conversion through the kick.
SEM will start from the 15. There's Scoville, picks up a few.
Oh, looks like we got an injury on the field. Mustang is down. Officials calling the coaching staff out to check him out.
I believe this is Rhodey for SEM. We'll take a break here. 2:46 to play here in the third.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Currency. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. The Carpet Shop, which has been providing quality residential and commercial floor coverings and installation for almost 50 years. And by You Say Pharmacy, where their mission is your family's health.
Hey sports fans, heading to the big game tonight? Make sure you stop by Speedy Mart before you hit the stadium. Fuel up your car and grab your favorite snacks and drinks to keep your energy high. Whether it's chips, soda, or a quick meal, Speedy Mart has everything you need to kick off your game night right. Don't miss out. Swing by Speedy Mart for all your pre-game essentials.
Speedy Mart, snacks before the game.
When the game wraps up or even before kickoff, our community welcomes you with open arms. The Lincoln Convention and Visitors Bureau is happy to have you here, and we want to show you what we're all about. From wide open spaces to music, shopping, entertainment, and more, there is always something for you to discover in our city. Stop by the Visitors Center at 7th and P in the Haymarket or visit Lincoln.org. The Lincoln Convention and Visitors Bureau is a proud supporter of high school athletics. So Cohen Rhodey hobbles off the field for SEM, who, as Coach Haraski puts it, is our best athlete on the team. And you also have starter Graydon Anderson being tended to on the sideline for SEM as that pass goes incomplete. But to your point, Preston, six-man football injuries are amplified significantly. And so what does that do when you currently now have two starters on the sidelines for the Mustangs?
It's a big problem to have because you're losing, 35% of your team to injuries just like that. I mean, it not just on offense, but on defense, because these guys are Iron Man football players. They got to play both ways. It's a huge, huge problem. You hope the young guys are ready.
Well, it looks like Rhodey's working himself out, doing high knees up and down the sideline out of bounds, so hopefully he'll be back.
And Stuart gets to Dakey. That's Tubbs with the sack.
Yeah, Stuart dodged a bullet. The halfback pass back to the quarterback was there, slipped through the hands. This time, pin their ears back, get into the backfield. Nowhere for the scrambling quarterback to go.
Stuart has changed up their defense a little bit. They were that 2-2-2 and were pretty good on it. They've kind of went to almost to a 3-2-1.
Yeah. They're middle linebacker almost as a nose guard.
Yes, he's not ever going every time, but he's there.
And the punt will go out near the 20. So Stuart, after missing the 2-point kick, defense forces a punt, chance to take the lead for the first time.
Yeah, huge opportunity for the Broncos. Kind of let the air out of, all the momentum that they had, missing that PAT. But the defense does prevail, gets the stop.
Nothing doing there for Stuart. He had Isaac O'Neal and Is that Cohen Road? He's at 25 back out there?
Yep.
Well, he's okay.
Right away, making an impact. Both players that A gap.
That is excellent news for all Sumner, Eddyville, Miller fans. And of course, from a neutral standpoint, you're happy to see the young man is okay and able to finish this thing out. So that was a loss of 3. Jump off here to Schmaderer. And ends up in the hands of Couch.
Jeez. Ball just popped straight up in the air. Lead blocker Kalp was able to go up and get it.
Maddox Jones with the hit that sends it flying.
And once again, Stuart dodges a huge bullet, Coach.
They are. It's almost like something's destined to be going right for them tonight because all the balls are rolling their way.
3rd down and 12. Back to Rum. He's going to scramble. There he goes. Rum takes a hard hit, but a big first down for the Broncos. A huge gain.
You know what's so impressive to me, Preston, is how he can sit back there with patience. You know, he doesn't lose his cool. There's a lot of things happening around him. He's feeling the pressure, surveys, and when he decides to go, he is so decisive with his run.
He is. He's very, very locked in. He knows his surrounding, and you can see that the way he's setting up the defenders before he takes off running.
Yeah, he allows, you know, the defense to kind of flow a little bit to the right, then he'll cut it back to the left. That's just having that natural feel for the game. And, you know, multiple-year starter, you're seeing that with Rum.
3 quarters in the books. SEM leading by 2, Stuart driving here in the D6 State Championship. Stay with us. You're watching News Channel Nebraska.
The air inside your home can be 2 to 5 times more polluted than outside air. John Henry's priority is keeping your home safe and healthy for you and your family. Cleaning your home's air duct system is an important part of that goal. Our service professionals will clean your air ducts using top-of-the-line equipment that pulls air in reverse through the duct system, while using compressed air and agitation tools to remove unwanted particles. Once the air is discharged, it runs through 3 stages of filtration, leaving your air duct system restored and functioning cleaner than ever. Contact John Henry's today and schedule your steps to a healthier home.
Save over $14,000 off MSRP on a new Ram 1500 Bighorn Lone Star Crew Cab 4x4 during the Black Friday sales event at Midway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Kearney or online at midwaycdjr.com.
Fourth quarter. Now starting of the D6 State Championship here on NCN. Fresh set of downs for Stuart. Throwing up and almost came down. Pops out. Paxton just unable to bring that one in.
Boy, right at the last second, too. It looked like Paxton did a nice job fighting through that coverage. And once again, you're seeing the confidence that Cade Rum has. Provided receivers could have hit an underneath route. Once it all goes deep. Boy, that was close.
That was close, but that's where you want your quarterback to go to that underneath. Take the yards, don't take the risk.
Ah, you're no fun, Coach. I would have took the yards too.
But you know, you get to play. Hey, great job.
Yeah, right.
It's excellent coaching then. Second down and 15.
Love the aggressive nature when it works out.
I think we have a timeout here. Not sure who took it.
But I do like Stuart mixing it up with the play calling on the offensive side, throwing the ball on first down. We know they can run the ball. We know SEM can run the ball. It just adds another element when they can change it up on you, and it keeps those linebackers those defensive ends and, of course, the defensive backs a little more honest for SEM on the defensive side. They can't just pin their ears back and get after you, kind of like we saw in last year's chip. We're just back and forth. Hay Springs, SEM just blitzing the heck out of other. A lot of sacks and big plays behind the line of scrimmage.
And also the conditioning side of it, you're making them run and run and run, chasing receivers.
Right.
Well, this fourth quarter is brought to you by Visit Lincoln. See and experience all that Lincoln has to offer. Discover more at lincoln.org. So after the penalty, not much there for Littell.
Yeah, you give this Mustang defense an inch, they're going to take a mile. Kind of got you back behind the sticks after the penalty, the false procedure. Now we're starting to see some of these disruptors on the defensive side making some plays.
They are, and they did a very good job of stringing it out. But what was huge in that play that stopped it was the backside pursuit is one that brought down the play.
That's a great point. You know, and that's complementary football, right? Your defensive end is keeping that leverage. And you know you got those inside linebackers crashing down, sealing it up.
And that throw just off the mark from Rum. Brings up fourth down and long.
And Sumner Eddyville Mill continues to apply the pressure defensively, not allowing Rum to get comfortable back there in the pocket.
Yes, I didn't see exactly what happened, but it almost looked like it came out of his hand. He was throwing it.
Yeah.
He never had complete control of it.
Here we go, huge fourth down for the Broncos. Rum throwing it up for grabs, and it falls to the ground, incomplete. Turnover on downs.
So there the defense applied the pressure, coach, but that's exactly what you're talking about earlier. Rum throwing off that back foot. If he could have stepped up and put his shoulder into it, might have had a little bit more on it to have that spiral and find his receiver. Instead, it kind of floated on him, allowed the defense to make a play over the top.
It is, and that pressure is huge. But the one thing I've seen SCM do, smart football, they didn't go for the ball. They didn't try to get the interception. They just took it deep.
Pitch to Jones. He's tripped up by Littell. About 5 yards there on first down.
Boy, that was a huge stop. That really was a big stop for Sumner Eddyville Miller. That would have allowed Stuart, you know, their first lead of the game. They get the defensive stop, get the ball back, secure that 2-point lead as we're, you know, getting into this fourth and final quarter.
You know, the big thing's going to come down to who's going to be the fundamentally sound team at the end of this game.
Pitch to Scoville. And look out, showing his speed and athleticism there. First down, SEM.
Boy, he is so good at keeping his feet moving, that little lateral movement, that little shimmy, that little shake, coach. What a change of pace back this Mustang offense has in number 33.
It's nifty to watch. It's almost like Twinkle Toes. Just light on his toes, just dance around.
Definitely puts the defense on skates.
That was an 18-yard pickup for Scoville. We're under 8 to play. And here is Scoville again inside the 10-yard line.
So twice there, Preston. Kept those feet moving, allowed that block to be set in front of him. Just excellent running. Running with patience, and then the speed.
The speed and the vision that comes to mind, because he's setting up his blocker as he's running there. He allowed that guy to get that block to free him for an extra 5-6 yards. Very talented guy.
Yeah, and he was able to keep that forward momentum by keeping those feet churning. Would you say, like he was tap dancing, you know?
Yeah, they call him Twinkle Toes.
Well, and there he goes. 3 carries in a row. This time it's a touchdown for Scoville from 18 yards out. 8 rather, excuse me.
Fitting that he was able to cap this drive with a touchdown run. That was all Mr. 33 Jordan Scoville that drive.
He did, very light on his feet, but very on his toes. If you watch him run, it's bouncing left and right, but he's on his toes the whole time. He's never flat-footed.
Big 2-point kick here to make it a 2-possession game. And it's no good.
Oh boy.
No good. It will remain 38-30. We're going to stay here, and while we do, here's another look first off. It might have gotten
just
off the
to
hand
right.
of a Stuart player, perhaps.
Wide right. The officials, 2 of them at the goalpost there, they had the angle.
So during this break in the action, we want to let you know that the Kearney Sportsplex, it is coming to Kearney this spring. And it is going to feature a gymnasium with 59,000 square feet. 3,000 plus spectator bleachers. It will allow for 8 regulation high school basketball courts that could be converted into 12 volleyball courts or 20 plus wrestling mats. And what does that mean? It means that there is going to be youth and adult competitions, multi-day tournaments all happening, and the Sportsplex will be the hub for not only central Nebraska, but the entire region.
What a superb facility, and the way that they're bringing in, teams from across the nation. We're going to see some really cool tournaments throughout at the Kearney Sportsplex.
We're in the town of Kearney tonight for this 6-man state championship, and it has been quite the affair. We only can wonder what these last 7+ minutes will have in store.
Time's not a factor yet, Coach, but you're thinking about it. All right, if I don't score here, I might only see the ball one more time. It just puts so much more pressure, just a little bit more pressure on each and every possession as we kind of start to wind down this 4th quarter.
It is, and you got to be thinking about that, but you just want your kids to still play free. Don't tense up, don't worry, play your brand.
Lettow lowers his shoulder. Big pickup.
That run right there tells you everything you need to know about Owen Lettow. Could have tried to get it outside, right? Turn on the afterburners. Instead, he saw the green in front, knew he was going to take on a couple of linebackers, converging linebackers, almost welcomed the contact, drove his shoulder forward, got those extra yards, running it back into the teeth of that defense.
You got to love guys that are willing to be on the line for their team. They're going to do everything they can to get this win.
Play action. Pass is complete. Hauled in by Paxton.
Once again, nice delivery there from Brum to his buddy Ben Paxton. Out in front, and then Paxton with those big old paws gets up and out. Gets that one in on the drought.
Seen there, though, he set his feet before he threw the ball.
Yep.
That was a big ball floats, or if it's a direct line.
The D-State Championships presented by Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose. Find out more at libertyfirstcu.com. 6:26 to go. Handoff here for Stuart. More hard running by Lettow. SEM says it's our ball.
I mean, he was down when the ball came out. That's the way I saw it. But, I mean, I'm losing my mind here if I'm head coach Colin Sherman. Secure the ball. Hold on to the ball, fellas.
Look here.
Oh, that's
Stuart might have got away with one there.
Let's just put it this way. It's a good thing we don't have instant replay in high school football.
So it's 2nd and 6. Stuart keeps possession. Little trap play to Tubbs. And looks like they mark him short of the first down.
The big thing on this is it does come down who makes plays at the end, but who's more fundamentally sound. And SEM, I don't think they've had one bobble of a ball tonight. They've very securely played it, and that could come in towards the end of this game.
Yeah, the Broncos extremely fortunate. The number of times the ball's popped out, been put on the turf, and they've been able to come away and retain possession.
Pitch to Littell. He's inside the 5.
Wrecking ball, man. My goodness, you saw that alley set up. Good blocking out in front, and you just let number 9 do the rest.
Just like the way he runs downhill. He runs behind his pads. I remember when I was young watching Duran the ball for Nebraska.
Yeah.
It was always just with a very heavy lean forward type of run, and that's almost exactly how this kid runs the ball.
Yeah, always moves that pile forward.
Well, at 1st and goal from the 4, you think he's going to get it again?
I'd put money on it right now.
You had penetration there by SEM. The play was really sort of blown up from the start.
Always a little tougher once you get down around that goal line. Things coming at you quite a bit faster, a lot less field for that defense to worry about.
You know, we've seen it earlier with Stuart doing it. Now SEM's doing it. They're almost like they're getting the snap count figured out. Going on 2 might be a big thing coming up.
Well, Stuart that a couple possessions ago, and they committed an illegal procedure.
Well, they go to the air, and it's short. Short for Paxton.
Well defended. That was Chance Dakey out there on the coverage, and you're right, Coach. I think a hesitation count going on 2 would really help Stuart out here.
Set your feet. That's a touchdown. He was rolling backwards and just flipped it. If he'd have just stopped and planted, it was a stand-up touchdown. Little things.
Yep.
3rd and goal from the 5. There's the throw. It's caught. Touchdown, Stuart. Hunter Tubbs with the reception.
So impressed with how Rum is able to keep his eyes down the field while eluding the rush. He is moving to his right, moving to his right. Knows he's going to feel the pressure, able to just stop, pop for that touchdown pass.
The fact that this kid's a junior, if he can set his feet, this kid's going to be dynamic as a quarterback because he's got a heck of a good arm. The only time he doesn't make a perfect pass is when he's leaning back.
Didn't get it.
And the 2-point kick is no good. SEM remains in front.
Just shot it off to the right. I don't think there was a block.
It looked clean. It just didn't get his toe on it centered.
We have a dramatic 3:44 minutes remaining. Come back. You're watching high school state championship football on News Channel Nebraska. When the game wraps up or even before kickoff, our community welcomes you with open arms. The Lincoln Convention and Visitors Bureau is happy to have you here, and we want to show you what we're all about. From wide open spaces to music, shopping, entertainment, and more, there is always something for you to discover in our city. Stop by the Visitors Center at 7th and P in the Haymarket or visit Lincoln.org. The Lincoln Convention and Visitors Bureau is a proud supporter of high school athletics. Welcome back. 2-point ball game here in Kearney. SEM holding on to the 2-point lead after that kick was no good by the Broncos. Stuart with 2 timeouts remaining. Pitch to Maddox Jones. And he is plugged up. We have a SEM player down.
Oh, no. But you can reveal Miller and their coach are thinking 3-minute, 35-second touchdown drive would be perfect to close this game out. It can be imperative for Stuart to step up and stop the run here late in the fourth quarter.
And the player coming off for SEM is Graydon Anderson, who wasn't out there on that last defensive series. Scope, who has been the key here in the fourth quarter for the Mustangs.
Boy, he really has. The way he's able to get vertical, just plants that right foot, the cutback that he utilizes. You mentioned it earlier, Coach. Excellent vision navigating across the field.
Yeah, just staying square with his body, is, you know, keeping all the weight on his toes allows him to make them quick little moves.
Be sure to stay tuned for our coach's post-game interview brought to you by Sarpy County Tourism. Stay, play, and plan your getaway at GoSarpy.com. Pitch to Scoville. He gets to the corner and has enough for the first down.
Like you said, Coach, staying light on his toes. He threatened cutting it back. That got the defense to just stop, just pause a split second. That allowed him to bust outside, move the chains, pick up that first down.
You know, he wasn't the workhorse in the beginning, and he wasn't the guy that we thought was going to carry the team. But coming towards the end of this game, he's the one that's really taking the, he's like, hey guys, I got you, let's do this.
Well, Maddox Jones, you know, your feature back, the you know, the ground and pound type of guy, the throwback. He had 110 yards at halftime, so this is quite the spell, a change up here with Jordan Scoville.
And we have a flag coming in late, and I believe it'll be a horse collar or face mask, something to that degree. And officials are talking about it now, but he certainly, Scoville went down awkwardly. What are we seeing there on the big
replay
screen?
on the big screen? He has him up by the shoulder. I don't think it should be a penalty.
Well, they wave it off.
Credit the officials getting together, talking it over. You're right, Brandy. Went down awkwardly. Hands were up around, you know, the upper part of the pads. That's a strong arm tackle, I'll tell you what.
That is, you know, that rule is you can't grab him by the horse collar or inside the jersey, and he wasn't. He was on the outside. He was up top, but it wasn't inside there.
Yeah, got a handful of jersey, that's okay. Man, that is some upper body, some arm strength there.
They'll go back to Scoville. Bring up third down. A reminder to stay tuned for our player of the game interview. It's brought to you by USAVE Pharmacy, where they're dedicated to the well-being of all of their customers.
Stuart using their timeout. I think this is the right time to be doing that, right, Coach? Want to conserve as much clock as possible.
You look where they're down in distances. They just got a good stop. Clocks ran down. They got them stopped. They're stopping around the midfield area now. So taking that timeout for a third down play, you get a good stop here, and they got a punt. You'd think.
Yeah, I was going to say, you'd think, depending on this play, does Sumner Eddie Miller try to keep the destiny in their own hands, force the issue, and go for it on fourth down, risking giving Stuart the short field?
Depends on the yardage they get here. If I think they get anything over 4 yards here, it's a guarantee. You got to go for it.
Yeah.
You're going to end this game yourself. You're the ones that are going to make sure.
Stuart has to sell out here, don't they? Defensively, they got to get some penetration into that backfield.
Yes, but be careful of the play action.
3rd and 8, trap up the middle, not much there. There is a flag. It came from the near side of the field.
What'd you see, Coach?
I think we might have got a little bit of a jump on the defensive side.
Offsides? Oh, what a huge penalty that would be.
Illegal motion.
Illegal shift.
Well, let's see what we can see here.
He was set for a count. I don't see that as an illegal motion.
Well, Stuart declines it anyhow. It's going to bring up that 4th and what? 4th and 5 here? 4th and 8, excuse me. And I'm not sure what this Mustang offense, what they're going to do.
Appears they're going to go for it. Well, now we have a timeout. Man.
I kind of like this SEM just deciding to, let's close it out. If we roll the dice and pick up this first down, we can run out the clock. Stuart has run out, or will run them out of their timeouts. Stuart, I kind of feel like, Coach, you gotta roll the dice. You gotta blitz. If you beat me over the top, if your play action comes through and we can't disrupt the play, so be it. But I'm not gonna allow you to dictate a play to me. I'm gonna bring the pressure, but maybe I'm getting a little too aggressive here.
Either way you look at it, you're taking a risk. Because if you don't, they're going to run it down your throat like they have most of the night and get what they want. So, yes, I think you are very aggressive, but you make sure that one guy's hanging back. SEM, I love it.
Well, here comes the I formation. We've seen it all night.
Play action.
And there it is. There's the dump. It's picked. Interception, Stuart. INT Broncos, and it's returned deep in SEM territory. Gavin Mustin, his 6th interception of the year to lead Stuart.
Picture perfect, Brandon, the lengthy senior. Read that the entire way. Perfect job jumping, getting underneath of it, and a huge return. The Broncos are in business with just under 2 minutes to go.
Obviously, Stewart's coach was thinking the same thing I was telling you about, of watch the play action, because that's going to be huge if you sell out.
Yeah, you called it.
6 interceptions for the senior. Perhaps the biggest of his career right there. Depending on what Stuart can do. Under 2 minutes to go. They're now at the 10-yard line. A first ever state title for the program hanging in the balance.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're not in yet. That 10 yards feels more like 100 yards right now if I'm an offensive play caller for the Stuart Broncos.
Yes, it's a long ways to go, but remember, it's 4 points for the field goal. They could actually win this by 2, but they've missed 2 of them.
Right.
Right up the middle inside the 5. Letau down to the 4, 3rd and goal.
I gotta think if you're a Stuart fan, you love seeing number 9, Owen Letau, tote the rock in this spot.
To me right here, you do nothing but give him the ball. Don't take that risk of a little pass. You are this close to you down.
What a game here in Kearney. D6 State Championship on News Channel Nebraska. SEM trying to win its 2nd consecutive and 2nd ever state title as a program. Stuart trying to win its 1st. And it all comes down to this final minute 36.
Well, Coach, if I'm Stuart, I'm thinking I have 2 plays to get 4 yards. So I don't have to get cute. I don't have to get creative. I can just sit back and give my big, powerful backs 2 cracks at it here and have faith that the span of 2 plays down the stretch, they can get me 4 yards.
There's a bunch of ways you can look at this. If you're SEM, you can let them walk in and score right here, so you have this time to go down.
They give it to Rum. Rum has the corner. He's going to get in there. Stuart takes its first lead of the night. With 1:29 to play, Rum finds the end zone.
What a play call. Maddox Jones was the spy on the other side that time, played it perfectly, but you saw the athleticism from Caden Rum once again, able to make that move and dart outside and just enough speed to break that barrier, get one in the end zone.
Love the way it's coming down to the end, but we still got a lot of time left.
We do. No good.
So now, if you go to a 4-point kick, you could tie it with a field goal now because of that miss as well.
And Coach Stuart has had their problems with those, point after kicks. That would have been a spot where just the 1 point would have been so big, because then a field goal wouldn't have tied it.
Yes, that would have been huge, huge. But you're looking at the other end, if SEM does go down and score and you have 6 on there, they just missed a field goal too.
Right.
So it's kind of a toss-up on what you want to do there.
Right.
I agree with the going for 1 and making them have to score a touchdown.
Right. That was my thought process. You're forcing SEM to score a touchdown. They will not be able to tie us with the field goal. And, the Broncos, they've had their issues with this point after kick. Boy, that was pretty far wide right.
Now, I believe SEM has the best kicker in 6-man in the state, is what has been said, right?
Yeah, Bodie Martin has been money, the sophomore.
So if they get him in close enough, he could hit that long one.
He really could.
D6 state final live from Kearney. That'll be a touchback for SEM. The Mustangs, 1 minute and 29 seconds. They have 2 timeouts to work with.
Boy, that speaks to that coach SEM has been playing with. They used 1 timeout, a defensive timeout. You understood that, but they still have 2 timeouts in their back pocket. Minute 29 to go here. They can put something together.
Now, remember, we saw it earlier. Their quarterback can run really good.
Yeah.
This is going to be huge.
Have the potential reverse pass, and it's overshot. They were trying to get it to Beatty.
Eyes got a little too big, put a little too much on that pass. It was open. Beatty does a really nice job finding that open space when he does those drag routes, those routes cutting across the field.
SEM can't get too cute here, though. You can still run. There's still enough time. You are a good enough running team to bounce a couple big plays, and you have 2 timeouts.
And Dakey will run, picks up 5.
Smartly gets out of bounds, stops the clock. That almost appeared to be a run all the way. Maybe he had 1 read for a pass, and if it wasn't wide open, tuck and run.
It did look like that, because he didn't take any time to decide to go. But this is really putting SEM on a game that they don't play real well. They're not a passing team.
And an excellent open field tackle by Paxton. Not much there for SEM.
Real impressed with how Stuart is sitting back, slow to read, quick to react. They're not selling out up front. They're keeping everything in front of them, doing a nice job rallying up to the ball carrier and securing that tackle.
And he brought the hips.
Yeah.
Young players, listen. If you're going to tackle somebody and you want to get them down by yourself, you explode through the hit tower is, and you just watched that, a perfect form tackle. You gotta love it.
Yeah. Sound assignment, sound football being played right now from that Bronco defense. And this is a spot where now they don't have to sell it. They don't have to send an extra blitzer. Just try and get that pressure with their 2-down linemen, get back into their 22 base defense. 2 down linemen, 2 linebackers, 2 defensive backs.
They do. You want to have enough pressure to make the quarterback make a decision, but you also got to be fundamentally sound on the backside so nothing big leaks out.
Great point.
Here's the game. 4th down. SEM needs 10 yards. There's the throw. It's incomplete. No flags on the field. Stuart takes over on downs.
Littau with the breakup. That young man has done everything offensively and defensively for the Broncos here tonight. And that speaks to the style of athlete, Coach, that you were talking about, how, hey, you got to do everything. If you're in 6-man, you're a defensive end, you're a quarterback, you're an outside linebacker, you're a receiver on offense. You got to be able to do just about everything here in this style of play.
Yes, and we were talking, and we said this about Stewart's quarterback. SEM's quarterback runs up there, and he kind of just floated across. I think if you got it in there, he was open. But that's one of the things, you got to get it in there. You got to get it in there now.
Yeah, you kind of got to put some muscle into it, right? Lean forward, get that ball, zip it in there a little bit.
So SEM takes, I believe it's its final timeout here. The last time the Mustangs lost, semifinals of 2022. They fell to Parkview Christian, the eventual state champs this year, or that year rather. After that game, undefeated last season, undefeated this season, up until this point.
Boy, they just played so well throughout this game, just gave up a couple big plays. Stuart, that creative offense we were talking about, came into play here tonight. That hook and ladder touchdown to close out the first half. How big was that?
One of the gutsiest and best play calls in a long time. Now, I'll tell you, people watching, a lot of people are against what SEM is doing right here because they're attacking when they're knowing it's going to be a kneel. I'm the opposite right here. They are playing to the last possible play they can play.
Yeah.
And so if you hit that center, they misbumble a snap and you can get that ball back.
Exactly.
It's worth it.
Hey, we've seen it before.
So this is the final snap. Stuart will be able to run out the clock and claim its first state championship in program history. 42-38. Your final, and the clock hits 0. The Broncos take down the defending champs and claim their first ever state title.
Got to feel good for the Broncos, don't you, Coach? They got down early. It looked like SEM might run away with it early in that first quarter. They were able to bounce back, generate a couple of stops on defense. Offense woke up in just enough time, and man, down the stretch, the big plays. We were talking about that big play offense and the capabilities they have. I think that proved to be the difference here tonight.
It was, and man, what a barn burner. This is the type of state championship game you want that comes down to the last possession. You got to give Stuart all the credit in the world. I think in the notes from pregame, Brandon, that you sent me was talking about, the coaches said if we played 10 times, it'd be 5-5. And I think there's 100% right. If SEM stays 100% healthy tonight, can they go all the way again? You know, it's just the way the ball bounced tonight.
Yep. The ball hit the turf a couple of times. Stuart was lucky to get back on top of it. If it bounces the other way, who knows? And to your point, these teams have split on the season. Just Stuart gets the big victory at the end.
Don't go anywhere. Our post-game show coming up. Medal presentations, interviews, and top plays all around the corner.
The air inside your home can be 2 to 5 times more polluted than outside air. John Henry's priority is keeping your home safe and healthy for you and your family. Cleaning your home's air duct system is an important part of that goal. Our service professionals will clean your air ducts using top-of-the-line equipment that pulls air in reverse through the duct system, while using compressed air and agitation tools to remove unwanted particles. Once the air is discharged, it runs through 3 stages of filtration, leaving your air duct system restored and functioning cleaner than ever. Contact John Henry's today and schedule your steps to a healthier home.
Liberty First Credit Union. It's for you. You live in Nebraska or the surrounding states? Then it's for you. Want to earn cash back on your transactions? Then it's for you. Are you ready to start banking with purpose? Then Liberty First Credit Union? It's for you. We're not your typical credit union. We support you with personalized banking that's open to everyone. Start banking with purpose at Liberty First Credit Union. We're for you.
This broadcast is brought to you by Evergreen Assisted Living, wishing you a joyous season from the staff at Evergreen Independent and Assisted Living in O'Neill, Southside Mini Mart, the best pizza around, and by Stuart Fertilizer. All the staff at Stuart Fertilizer wish the very best to the Stuart Broncos football team and coaches.
Need relief from pain or support for recovery? Don't just see anyone, see the trainer. From bracing to home health.
Number 15, Shaden Schreiner. Number 18, Caden Williams. Number 20, Brayden Anderson. Number 22, Carlos Mazariegos. Number 23, Colton Schreiner. Number 24, Carson Bosa. Number 25, Cohen Rohde. Number 27, Bentley Behart. Number 30, Bo Triplett. Number 33, Jordan Scoville. Number 40, Owen Schroeder. Number 60, Carson Nichols. Number 77, Eli Reed. Number 81, Heath Henson. Number 88, Justin Rosentrader. And number 98, Bodie Martin. For these outstanding athletes and their school, here is the 2024 Class D6 State Football Runner-Up Trophy. Congratulations to Sumner Eddyville Miller High School. Head coach Colin Sherman and his assistants will present the gold medal players. Please come forward as your name is called. And Coach Sherman, we also have a special award for you. Now presenting the championship game ball on behalf of Farmers Mutual of Nebraska is NSAA board member Robert Drews of Arapahoe. And here's your medals. Hayden Gaborik, number 2. Number 3, Lane Bolter. Number 4, Gavin Mustin. Number 5, Drew Schmatter. Number 6, Karen Kaup. Number 7, Kate Rowe. Number 9, Owen Latano. Number 10, Hunter Tubbs. Number 11, Ben Paxton. Number 12, Briar Holmgren. Number 13, Nigel Addison. Number 14, Tom Paxton. Number 16, Max Alder. Number 17, Seth Conant. Number 18, Austin Conant. Number 42, Brooke Wallinger. Number 48, Austin Gilbert. Number 51, Zane Doak. Number 77, Trey Wallinger. For these outstanding athletes in their school, here is the 2024 NSAA Class D6 State Football Championship Trophy. Congratulations to the Broncos of Stuart High School. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand by the flag service. Thank you.
Do you have my feed? Yep. Come on, let's go. Put your fingers down your here. Someone come kneel by me. And I have you right here. Now we're all right, everybody smiling on this one. You're state champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming out to our championship game tonight. Thank you for supporting your towns, schools, and the great sport of high school football in the state of Nebraska?
Good, I'm good.
Congratulations to both teams on a season. Ladies and gentlemen, have a safe trip home.
At the racetrack or the rat race round town, fuel matters. Here, customers can expect the highest quality fuel that they deserve.
Darling, I believe everything's gonna be alright. No need to worry, cause you got somebody on your side. We all need a fam, we all need a crew. When you're in a jam, don't know what to do, just reach out your hand and we'll see you through. Doesn't matter where you're at, we got your back. We got your back.
With a Medica health plan, you're not just covered, you're cared for.
This presentation of the NFHS Network is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there.
This broadcast is brought to you by Cunningham's Fire. Stop in at Fire Modern Grill in Kearney for a modern dining experience. Stryker Tractor, located at 509 Central Avenue in Eddyville, Nebraska. And by Tubbs Pub, where people meet to eat in downtown Sumner.
Shop Woodhouse Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram during our Black Friday sales event. Browse our full lineup of new Jeeps like the capable and confident Jeep Compass. And take advantage of our current offers going on right now. Visit one of our 2 convenient locations in Blair or Bellevue today. Serving our customers since 1991. Woodhouse is your trusted Jeep dealer.
Liberty First Credit Union. It's for you. You live in Nebraska or the surrounding states? Then it's for you. Want to earn cash back on your transactions? Then it's for you. Are you ready to start banking with purpose? Then Liberty First Credit Union? It's for you. We're not your typical credit union. We support you with personalized banking that's open to everyone. Start banking with purpose at Liberty First Credit Union. We're for you.
Coach Colin Sherman, was that as good as an ice bath as ever felt there?
Yeah, it was cold, but it doesn't feel any better than that, man.
What a ball game. You guys didn't lead there until the last few minutes. What'd you see on that defensive possession where your guy Gavin came away with the INT?
Heart, because they were running all over us, and we kind of just buckled in and just made some great plays, and Gavin jumped the route just like he has all year and made the play of his life.
And then you had to punch it into the end zone, too. How much faith did you have that you guys would find pay dirt?
I was confident in them. We like that RPO with giving Cade the decision to, throw or take off. And it's kind of been our bread and butter all year long, and that's just what we stuck to.
You guys lost to SEM by 3 this season. They kicked you out of the playoffs last season. And now you get it done this year. How sweet is that?
It's pretty dang sweet. That was a lot of fun. They are a fantastic football team, but like I said, pregame we made some mental errors in the beginning of the game, and I think second half we were so much better. I think we got comfortable there at halftime, putting that in at the end of the first half there. I think we just finally settled in is what it was, and it was a great ball game.
What makes this the special Stuart group to become the first football state champions?
Well, like I said, we've been talking about this since July. They worked their tails off in the weight room. They worked their tails off at practice, 100-degree heat, whatever it is, watch film. They do whatever we tell them to do to win a game, and this group deserves it more than anybody.
Well, congratulations, Coach.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
We'll bring in our state champion, our player of the game, Gavin Mustin. Gavin, you made the game-winning play, picking up that pass on 4th down. Take me through that from your perspective.
So all week we knew they were going to want to pass it if we got ahead, because that's what they have to go to if we stop the run. We did struggle with the run early, but once it got to the late game, we knew they were going to try and pass it. And I knew 25, he likes to run that out route, so that's what I anticipated the most. I anticipated an out route than a chair route, and the quarterback must not have seen me, and I just read it like a book, man.
What are the emotions on the sideline when you guys get to victory formation and put this away?
Man, they were high. We've wanted this for so long. At the beginning of the year, we preached state champions, three-peat, and I don't know, this means so much to us three seniors, because a couple of us wanted to quit last year because we didn't know if we really liked football, but this year, it really proves that we wanted to do football, and man, what a way to end it.
And you did it against Sumner Eddyville Miller. Yes. They got you in week 2. They got you last year in the playoffs. The third time's the charm this time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that first time we played them this year was a couple mental errors. Quarterback throwback, we had miscommunication, but this week we were ready for it. We knew exactly what they were going to do, and granted, we struggled with the run a little bit, but once we got our feet under us, it felt good knowing that we could stop them.
I don't think your fans sat down this entire game. They're chanting to get on the field. You guys have so much energy. You just did jumping jacks. Yeah. What's this mean to the community and your squad to be the first football state champions in Stuart High School history?
Man, all week they want this so bad. They show up to every game. In Hay Springs last week, 3-hour drive for us. We had probably 120, 300 fans. I mean, that's a big jump, but I mean, it's just, they're there for every game. They give us food. They put stuff in our lockers. They make sure we're ready for the game. And that student section, man, they're always there. They're always loud. They're just so proud of us, and I'm glad we have a student section like them and a community behind us.
Well, you guys get to celebrate in Holt County now. Congratulations. You guys earned it.
Thank you.
That's the Stuart Broncos, for the first time, state football champions.
Thank you, Michael. Congratulations to Stuart. As you just heard, first time state champs, and meant a lot, obviously, to Gavin and the rest of those Broncos. Thoughtful answers from this senior as a part of our USAFE Pharmacy Player of the Game interview, where they are dedicated to the well-being of all of their customers. Also appreciate Coach doing our Sarpy County Tourism Coaches interview. Stay, play, and plan your getaway at GoSarpy.com. What a game here in Kearney to round out the six-man football season. Let's see how it all happened by taking a look at our top plays brought to you by Currency. Does your business need financing for equipment, trucks, or trailers? All you need is Currency. Visit GoCurrency.com. Six-man state championship. Sumner Eddyville Miller, the defending state champs. They knocked Stuart out last year in the playoffs. They also were Stuart's only loss this season when these two teams played week 2. SEM came out on top 36-33 in that matchup. In the rematch, they get on the board first. That is Maddox Jones' 5-yard touchdown run on the opening drive for the Mustangs. 2-point kick's good. It's 8-0 SEM. After a 3-and-out by Stuart, SEM takes little time in scoring again. It's Jones, this time 27 yards. Looking like perhaps the Mustangs are going to run away with this one early. 16-zip. 4:41 to go in the first quarter, but Stuart does answer back. You have the pitch, and you have the run, and the score by Drew Schmaderer, a 9-yard touchdown run late in the first to cut the lead in half. The Broncos slow down that early momentum created by SEM as we head to the second quarter. We didn't have a lot of scoring until late in this quarter on 4th and long. You have the pass from Chance Dakey to Preston Beatty. His first touchdown of the season, not a bad time to get it. 31-yard reception. It's 24-8 with just over a minute to go before halftime. Stuart, though, they would get on the board and score in that minute and change. How about the hook and ladder? You have the pitch from Paxton, and then Schmaderer takes it in, making it 24-16. Right before halftime. That would be your score going into the break. Does get the ball to start the third quarter. Broncos, they would make the most of it. You have Owen Littau. He was a hard runner all night. 18 carries for Lectau, 118 yards and 2 touchdowns. There's his first, a 2-yard punch-in to tie things up. 8:59 to go in the third quarter, but SCM answers back. And you have Jones. This is trip number 3 to the end zone, putting SCM back on top by 8:32-24 midway through the third, and we're trading blows. Back now to Stuart. And Lectau in for the second time. A 2-yard touchdown run, but the 2-point kick is missed. So SCM remains on top 32-30 as we head to the fourth quarter. And this is when it looked like SCM perhaps would be able to put the game to bed. Jordan Scoville had a great drive, and he capped it off with an 8-yard touchdown. A chance to go up by 10, but the Mustangs then miss their 2-point kick. It remains an 8-point contest, 38-30. Stuart coming back, and you have the pass from Cade Rum. Touchdown reception by Hunter Tubbs. But the 2-point kick missed again, so Stuart could have tied it. They do not. 38-36 SCM. The Mustangs leading, and on fourth down late, should they convert, they would put the game away. But other ideas by Gavin Mustin. On fourth down, he picks off SCM, gives the Broncos the ball back with less than 2 minutes to play. Stuart down 2. And you have this touchdown run by Rum, a 4-yarder. 2-point kick is missed, but Stuart takes its first lead of the game, 42-38, with under 90 seconds to go. All they have to do now is slow down the seemingly unstoppable SCM offense, and they do just that. Lectau, playing defensive back, breaks up the pass and ensures the victory for Stuart. The Broncos knock off the defending champs and claim the program's first ever state title. Your final score, 42-38. Still trying to catch my breath after that one, but Andy and Preston, I'll let you guys add your final thoughts before we put a bow on this one.
You know, for me, Coach, this is just one of those type of games that reminds you why you love the game of football. Trading blows back and forth, 2 run-heavy first teams, and then Stuart able to kind of mix in that pass, especially down the stretch and at the end of the first half. That hook and ladder, them being able, that Bronco offense being able to sprinkle in just a little bit of a change-up, utilize the passing game, I thought proved to be the difference here tonight.
That and you know, Stewart's coach said it at the end of the game. They settled down in the second half, which made a huge difference.
Yeah.
And you've seen the little adjustments. So there was not just great coaching tonight, but there was great plays by the players. All around, what a great night for football.
Hope you enjoyed it at home. We enjoyed bringing it to you tonight. An excellent, excellent way to end our football broadcast season here on News Channel Nebraska. The first of 7 state championships, the rest coming up on Monday and Tuesday in 11-man and 8-man. But man, this 6-man game has set the tone for the rest of those. A reminder to all of our viewers, while this is our last football broadcast of the season, our winter season starts in just over a week and a half. December 5th will be our first basketball broadcast, and we'll be bringing you a whole lot of basketball all throughout December, January, February, and we'll cap off everything in Lincoln in March with the state basketball tournament at Devaney and Pinnacle Bank Arena. Amazing, amazing job by our terrific camera crew as always. We could not do it without them. Danny Alvarado, Connor Luby, and Paul Hires, producers and directors in the truck. An excellent fall football season, and we're looking forward to bringing you more sports this winter. For Michael Shively, Preston Gailey, and Andy Klassen, I'm Brandon Axemet. We will see you in a week and a half for our winter sports on News Channel Nebraska.
We now join regular programming on News Channel Nebraska.